Cheers.
Ooh.
Jameson.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's a good combination.
It is.
Jameson and coffee.
It's so smooth.
What's up, fellas?
Not
What's
much.
I think that's an Irish coffee, right? Or do you have to have cream and Bailey's in it or something? I don't know.
I typically don't drink coffee and alcohol, but I think
Yeah.
I might
Kinda
start.
nice.
When in Rome.
Right?
Yeah, well, thanks for coming. Thanks for being here.
Thanks
for
First
having
off. I do appreciate it. Hopefully we'll have a good time here.
Oh yeah.
Why don't, since we got a whole room, why don't we just go around? You guys go ahead and introduce yourselves.
All right. I guess I'll start here. Jackson Hagerman. Play guitar for Tyler Kinchlow. New Ryan over there playing drums in another band. Avery playing drums in another band. So it's kind of how I got with these guys. Playing country music now.
Nice.
I'm Avery Snyder. I didn't play drums. I played bass in another band.
Did I say it wrong?
You said drums, but it's okay.
Well, I thought I was talking about Ryan. No?
You did. It's okay. I play bass. I follow the drummer, which is we met him playing some rock and roll, and now we're playing country music.
Nice.
It's
I'm
crazy that
Ryan.
this is kind of like where it
Yeah.
actually kind of started.
Yeah.
Was us three.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
Here
Yep.
we go.
I'm Ryan Catronio. Play drums, obviously. Kind of like to say I'm somewhat of a manager kind of deal. Just one of the many hats I try to wear. So, yeah.
Somebody's got to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
He does a good job.
Actually, I mean, I enjoy it. It's fun. It makes for some stressful days trying to coordinate schedules between
That's
so
the
many
worst part of
people.
it.
Yeah,
Any
that, I
game.
mean, if we could just have like an easier way to where everybody was like, all right, plug this, they light up, everybody's good to go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the hardest part about it all is just coordinating with dudes that got families and everything else going on. You know,
Schedules is always.
yeah.
It's my nightmare.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, how many times do we have to go
Right?
back and forth to be able to do this?
It's every time too, and it doesn't help that mine makes it so hectic. So my schedule sucks, and then if there's anything off, if anybody else does anything at all, then
Yeah.
I'm like, well, this is gonna take a while.
Yeah.
Like it's just not any fun. So you guys play for what is it, Tyler Kinch? Is that right?
Yeah. Well, he goes. His name is Tyler Kinchlow. We've kind of been bouncing back and forth. Like we're branding everything as Kinch, just because that's kind of his childhood nickname. Growing up, everybody called him Kinch. But we're
It's
right
definitely rolls off the tongue easier
Yeah.
saying Kinch, because whenever people ask, they're like Kinchlow, they're like Kinchlow, and you spell it out and they still have an issue. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
kind
the
of
tough one.
easier rolling with Kinch, and it makes it's a marketing. It's a little bit easier, but
So how did that all come about?
So I was playing with another band. First time I actually ever met Tyler, and we were at a buddy's house practicing, getting ready for a show, and it was a country band, and we were playing. It was a Chris Stapleton song. What was it? Tennessee Whiskey. And Tyler comes up and he's like, "Man," he was like, "I can sing that song." I'm just like, I'm sitting on the couch because we were doing like acoustic stuff, so I'm just kind of sitting back chilling. And I was like, "Oh my God, here we go. This dude wants to sing." Like,
Right.
This is
That
gonna
usually
be,
never-
Yeah,
never
it
ends
never
well.
works out.
Yeah.
And this dude starts singing, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, are you freaking kidding me right now?" Like, and then, long story short, that band guy moved to Texas and took another job, and that kind of fizzled out or whatever. And I'd get with Tyler and was like, "Dude, you gonna play some music? Let's do this." So we played a show at Sticky's, just a little acoustic show, and I was like, "I'm free. I'm not doing anything. Tell me what you want me to do." I said, "If you want to roll, I'll get to work." And he said, "Let's roll." And that was a year ago. And dude, like I've never honestly been a part of anything like this. It's kind of crazy how the stuff that we're fortunate to be able to do, and the following we got. That dude's got a following from Central Arkansas already. I mean, he's been playing acoustic stuff and doing that for years now. I mean, it's he's not new to playing around here or anything, but yeah, finally. That's so I was playing with them. Well, when they were with the Revolutioners, and that was kind of fizzling out, and that's where we kind of all hooked up. And then after playing with Tyler, I was like, dude, I've got the guys. We can do the band thing if you want to.
Gotta give Phil Houston a little bit of props, just in case if he does see this. He
What
would be
up,
pissed
Phil?
if he doesn't get his shine. So Phil Houston, just look him up and waste a couple of hours of your day watching Phil Houston.
Who is Phil Houston?
The legend.
Yeah, he
a
is a rock and roll singer here from Little Rock. I met him, I guess, probably around 2010. I was actually in a country rock and roll band called Highway 5 for 4 or 5 years, and that band broke up, and we were wanting to put together a rock and roll band and needed a good front man, and he was covering a band called the Gettys, which are a local cover band. They're still out there today. And he puts on a hell of a show. He's very much of a Scott Weiland style. And so when we saw him, we were immediately like, this is our guy. So we got with him and did this Revolutioners gig for probably 4 years, and then somewhat disbanded. And that's how I got with Avery, who plays bass, and started jamming. And we formed the second iteration of the Revolutioners, and then that didn't work out, and so we were still we took a little bit of a break, but wanted to keep jamming, just because it's kind of one of those things that when it's in your system it never really leaves. So we were just getting together a couple of nights, maybe a month or so, just jamming, and if something came about. And after that, I mean, we kind of didn't do much
for a while.
Jammed for a while and then just stopped. And I don't know about the rest of the guys, but I mean, I'd been playing music since 2004, so I was kind of thinking about hanging it up and moving on, and then got a call from Ryan over there to come check out this country singer, and he's the real deal, man. He's the shit. Like,
Nice.
he's so humble and down to earth, and I think that's what I see as his biggest strength, is that he's super blue collar, down to earth. What you see is what you get. If he shakes your hand, he means it, and I think that reflects the way he is on stage, the lyrics he writes, just who he is as a person. So I was immediately on board, just because he's a real dude, and just a straight up dude, and he's into things that I like. So
mega talented,
super talented.
Mm-hmm.
They just kind of sucked me into it. I came from more of a metal background.
Yeah.
Lived in Nashville for a little while and played in a band called Cherry at the Moon, which they're still out there. They're my childhood best friend Jance. He played guitar. We moved up there and found a drummer and a vocalist and went at it. And Arkansas was home, so
Yeah.
I came on back and started playing with them, and just ran into him one day randomly, and he's like, "Hey, we've been jamming. If you wanna come out and check it out, see what you think."
How did that happen? I think I was standing outside of my office.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
was
in
taking-
Cabot,
I was
right.
taking my fiance to
He
go.
lives in
can.
Conway. So, like, I'm standing out there talking on the phone. We have a bass player that we're kind of auditioning or whatever, and it wasn't matching up,
Yeah.
And I was like, I know who we need. Like, I mean, I know who's going to do this. And I think I was talking to Tyler on the phone, and Avery comes pulling down our parking lot. I'm like, dude, I gotta go. Hang up the phone with him. I'm like, you ready to start playing music again? And the boys got back together, and that's.
I literally hadn't picked up my bass once, probably in like 6 months at least. And then as soon as I saw them, I went home and just listened to all the country that I've known, the older stuff. And here we are.
No.
Yeah.
How do you, was it a weird transition there?
Oh yeah, because I mean, it's a whole new ball game with. I mean, you don't want to overplay it. Is the first thing, and I'm used to playing a lot more.
I even think whenever you started playing in the Revolutioners, that was kind of a, you had to
Had to tone it down.
tone
just
it
a little
down
bit.
and stick to just playing the roots instead of, because his band actually wouldn't it open up for the Revolutionaries?
Yeah,
at,
we had, I
like
mean,
the Juanitas or.
yeah, I want to say it was one of the bands before that band, but I mean, it was the same members, and we had played a show with the Revs.
Yeah. So like we had remembered him when we were looking for a bass player for the Revolutionaries, and remembered him, and I was like, man, that dude plays metal. Like he's got like a rack mounted system, and like I mean if it works
big.
it works. It's got gauges, man. I don't know.
Big weirdo.
But yeah, we were super fortunate to have him, and you know, to have him kind of play down to what he's always done and, you know, talented at was, you know, pretty cool to have him do that. And now he's having to do it even more now, but, you know, with country, it's got a lot of swing to it, and, you know, with playing bass in a country band, you carry the rhythm quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, we actually took guitar and bass lessons from the same guitar teacher, and he was very like bluegrass rooted, and so that was, I mean, the first time I ever picked up a bass, he's like, we're gonna play some bluegrass because that's the foundation of it all there.
Yeah, that's a good start.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was like, I'm never gonna use this. And like now I'm super
Wish I still had that
thankful for it.
banjo that my parents got me and put me in banjo lessons, and never thought I would use it. Damn it.
How long did you play banjo?
2 days. 3 days. I was trying to learn Metallica, man. I didn't care about. I mean, no, I did. I thought it was cool, but like, you know, I just wanted to play Metallica songs.
Metallica would sound pretty cool on a banjo, though.
Looking back on it now,
Would be great.
yeah.
I picked around for a little while on a banjo.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Man, I haven't played it in probably more than 10 years, though.
Yeah. You still have one?
Yeah.
Really?
It's old. The only one I have is old. It's like my grandpa's old banjo is the only one I have now.
Badass.
Yeah. Cool. I played for a short time in like a just with my brother-in-law, just dicking around. We did like a little country, like rough country project that was pretty fun for a little while. I tried to drum in that too. Terrible. I don't know how you guys do that. I'm so terrible at drumming.
There's
How do you
wild.
drum in a band?
I don't know. I tried drumming at practice one night, and it got kind of wild.
Yeah, you picked a
I
great
picked
song
a great
to
song
start
to try to start, and went downhill from there. Led Zeppelin is not the band you want to try to follow.
Yeah, that's a hard.
I'm gonna leave it.
I'm in the other room and I hear him starting. Like, as soon as he starts playing it, I'm just like, yeah, good luck.
Good luck, buddy.
How'd that turn out?
Not good. I was like, play it. If you play it, I'll be able to play it.
Yeah.
It didn't work out.
Yeah, no problem, right?
Yeah.
Keeping beats easy.
Yeah, he's like, get back on that bass. Hit one string at a time.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Rhythm's hard.
Keep the rhythm on the strings, and it's
Right.
easier for me for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, props to drummers. I've been in some bands with some wonderful drummers, and I couldn't.
Unfortunately, not this one.
Do it. Yeah. No, you're a great drummer.
How long you been drumming for?
Man, I got my first drum set when I was 10, so I guess 23 years now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Always in the country genre there?
No, man, really, it's kind of funny. I never really played in like bands or anything. I grew up playing sports, and that was just kind of a hobby of mine. Like my grandfather played the drums, and I was like, hey, I need a drum set, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, I never.
Man. They're so cool.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. I mean, he actually. I mean, that's what he did for a living. He was a drummer. He played for Andre Crouch and the Disciples way back in the day, old gospel band. And
Nice.
yeah, so cool stuff. But I just never really. It was never really my go-to. You know, it was always sports. My dad, that's what he did. He played sports, and so I really didn't get into a band until 2008, probably, when I was out of college and all of that. And I don't even really know what you would classify what we were playing. It was garbage. I mean, that's really. I mean, we had fun, but I mean, I go back and listen to stuff. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe people actually came to our shows. Like,
Most people go through that phase
yeah,
at some point.
it was. I mean,
Everybody
yeah, I don't
has
know.
that.
yeah, it was.
You
it
got to
was
be
rough.
terrible before you're good.
Yeah, and that's what But yeah, no, I mean, that was kind of, I don't know, not really metal, but it wasn't rock. I don't even really know how to classify it. But yeah, I got out of that and pretty much straight into country. I mean, just that's what was available to me, you know. It just everybody that I knew singing wise, that's what they did. So I just kind of played for anybody and anybody I could find, really. I mean, that's been my thing, is just keep playing. Like, I mean, I did that, played at church, you know, that kind of deal. Just anything I could do. I mean, just to stay in and active around musicians. And that's kind of what I've always said. Like, if you know enough of them, sooner or later something's going to hit. And it's kind of worked out. I mean, because some of the projects, I mean, I've kind of blended. I mean, our piano player, acoustic backup vocals was our worship leader at church, and he's now playing for us. I met these guys through another band, you know, so and kind of pulled everybody together behind what I think is a pretty big talent, you know. So see where it goes.
That's I found most music projects overlap in some way or another, especially around this area. And that seems to be the best way to get involved.
Yeah.
And just like you were saying, that's a good way to stay sharp too. You know, keep playing, even if it's just you're just jamming, just hanging out.
Yeah.
At least you're staying sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy too. Like Drew, our keyboardist, the one he was just talking about, he played in a band called Plu when I was younger. Used to go see them when I was like 14, and toured with all kinds of bands that I listened to at the time. And when he had hit me up, he's like, "Yeah, it was a guy that was playing with a band called Plu, I think." And I was like, "No way!" So first time I like introduced myself to him, and we had met in the past a few times, and I just was basically praising his old band, and he was all tickled. He's like, "Can I give you a hug?" I was like, "Hell yeah, man!"
Straight up fangirled him.
Yeah, I was like, "I know you're gonna be a future bandmate, but I listened to the shit out of that album."
That's a rad feeling right there too. Be able to do something like that.
And then for everybody to come and, I mean, from all different genres, and
I think that's
connect.
Yeah, what's super cool about playing music, especially in Central Arkansas, is, you know, it's such a small market, and eventually you cross paths or have crossed paths with, you know, guys in your bands and stuff, and it's interesting to, you know, to look back and be like, man, you ran with these types of bands back 10 years ago, and then now, you know, here we are, like, all together and playing music and having a good time. And, you know, just it's cool that, you know, you go from playing in bands for 10 plus years and would never imagine playing with like a guy that was a worship leader or something like that, you know, like, or, you know, guys that played in a metal band or whatever, and now here you are playing with them. It's cool.
I've always said, like, one of the biggest skills that everyone should have is versatility.
Yeah.
Just for that reason.
Yeah.
You're just so much more useful if you know, you can be spread differently in that way.
Yeah, that's like Drew brings some funky side to the band too. Yeah.
Which sometimes you need.
Right. You never know when he's gonna bust out in like Fresh Prince or some Afro
straight
Man
up
or
rock.
something.
Yeah, Colt 45 in the middle of a country concert.
Yeah.
Be out in a country club at a golf course and break that out.
Perfect.
And they go crazy.
I love it.
Well, I mean, you know, I listen to a little bit of everything anyway. Play a little bit of everything, just stuff I like, you know. And I think a lot of people are like that.
Yeah.
So even if you're at a country show and then, you know, something like that happens, you're like, oh man, awesome. These guys are like me, you know.
Definitely.
Just makes it that much cooler.
Yeah,
and when you can kind of take some stuff and put your own little spin on it too. That's what we kind of try to do. I mean, I think we're not a cover band. You know what I mean? We're trying to push our original stuff.
Right.
But that's we actually played the Rev Room, and we had a guy come up to us, and that's what he was like, dude, what I liked about y'all is you cover songs, but you can still see y'all behind them. You don't think, I mean, we play some Chris Stapleton stuff, and he was like, you hear it and you don't think Chris Stapleton. You're like, everything sounds like y'all, you know. And
definitely put our own.
Yeah, we try to change it up a little bit, so it's not, you're not just listening to what you hear on the radio. You're hearing some Kinch. Like, that's what we're trying to, you know, I mean.
And I really think you hear a lot of our individual backgrounds coming together in this project, that makes it somewhat unique, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think it's also not like a challenge, but you know, it takes you out of your comfort zone playing like, you know, rock and roll, then going to country, or metal, going to country or something like that. You know, it makes you appreciate different styles of music and makes it fun, you know, like intriguing a little bit.
Not only that, it sharpens you up.
Yeah.
Just makes you more useful. Just like I was talking about. Especially when you can, when you. Boy, I can't make my words. When you're down a path and you know you got it going. When you can branch off and do something totally different, that's just another tool in your belt there. You know,
Right.
something else you can take with you. And just like you said, still have that flavor in there too. So not only does that make you more versatile, but I think it also makes your project stand out a little more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not just, it's not, you know, you get that metal flavor in your country still, you know,
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Right. And you just, I mean, me as a bassist, I've just found the bassists in country that really stand out to me as unique, and just kind of learn the way that they run down the fretboard. And I mean, you never want to mimic anything that anybody does, but just kind of put it with what I already do.
Definitely take influence.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
'Cause,
sure.
I mean,
That's art in general. You gotta have some kind of
Yeah.
influence, some kind of reference, something you can start at least.
yeah. I mean, musicians can be the biggest snobs when it comes to genres that they're not fans of. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's with anything.
See, that's what I don't understand. I've ran into that a lot. I've got some friends that play, you know, in this genre, and then that's all they listen to,
Right.
and that's all they want to do, and just fuck everything else, essentially.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Mhm.
See, I try to listen to everything. Like, I mean, I obviously listen to country, but I mean, I try to spread it out and get away from country just because I feel like we blast that all the time. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
especially when you're having to learn some covers and learn just the structure. Like, I mean, sitting listening to those songs over and over again, like it just kind of burns me out. So I mean, like I try to listen to everything else and be like, how can I incorporate this into a country song? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's kind of what I like to do.
I feel like.
how can
Go ahead.
how can you get that funky groove into something country? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
not so much like not trying to go to like the bro country side or anything like that. Which I mean, my personal opinion on that stuff is I like some of it. I mean, I don't really mind. Like, I'm not gonna label myself as one specific genre just because I think you're kind of killing your
In today's world, you
exposure.
have to
You know
be-
what I mean? Like, you kind of got to be able to do a little bit of everything because listen to the radio. Like, nothing, I mean, you can go on a country station and you're going to hear a little bit of everything on there. You know what I mean? So you got to.
It's almost like you got to pick.
I mean,
You got to pick, like, either be an open band that's not afraid to be different and incorporate different styles of music into it, or you got to be like super traditional and just go like old as fuck and just take it way back.
yeah.
I mean, it just makes you more interesting. Like, my fork is great, but I can't eat soup with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it just makes you more interesting.
Yeah.
When you can take that from something else.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the spork was invented. I can eat soup and steak.
I was about to say you can't eat steak without a spoon or with a spoon.
Nah, spork. It's all about the spork, man.
Makes total sense.
Oh man. So what about, let's talk gear. What are you guys playing with? What are you guys playing on?
Y'all go ahead.
I'm playing on an Ampeg SVT 4 Pro with the 810 Classic cab,
Yeah.
and then my bass is a 5-string Ernie Ball Music Man Stingray.
Nice.
Love it.
Nice.
Love it a lot.
Did you is that the same setup you had with your metal gig too?
Yeah, I actually when I actually bought that in Nashville, I had before I was playing a Fender American Standard P bass, and I traded 2 of those to get that Stingray. And as far as like a raw bass, raw sounding recorded, no plugins, nothing, you can't beat it. You can play metal with it. You can play country, funk, anything.
It's a spork of basses.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
It's the sport. It's the sport. No, I love it.
Does that one have a nickname yet?
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, it's on the
Is
back of the neck.
Oh,
It's-
well, yeah, Japussy.
Yeah, Japussy.
Nice.
She got named on the way home from St. Louis.
How did that come about?
One of my buddies, Aaron Breimer, he's a Little Rock boy. We were driving home. I just bought a car in Springfield, Missouri, and we were naming the car, and that's the name. Like 3 hours later, it just popped out. That's what he wanted to name the car, and so I never named the car Japussy. So the base is tagged, ready to go.
What was the car?
It was a Scion TC. I blew the motor out of it. It was a piece of shit.
Dude, I had a very similar situation with a Scion TC.
Really?
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I ripped the clutch out of it.
Oh, really? Yeah.
But I was driving like a moron all the time.
Yeah, I was pretty rough on mine. I shot a deer on Camp Robinson, and I drove out there in my Scion. So I gutted it, drug it down to my car, and struggled to get it in the back. I brought a tarp though, and so I've actually got a picture on my Instagram.
Looks like a murder scene.
Of this deer in the back of my just like it was awesome. I pulled up to my parents' house, and my dad was just shaking his head. He was like, "I can't believe you put that deer." There was ticks all in my car after
For
that
sure.
deer.
Yeah.
I was glad that motor blew up.
Yeah. Those things, definitely were not meant for the kind of cars that people drove them like.
No, because it looks bad. You're like, "Oh, that's a nice car," and then you get in it, and it's this little weak motor.
Yeah.
Whipping it around turns, tearing up the suspension.
What was what's the Scion car that looks like the Toyota? It's like a Scion
the
FSR, FRS or something.
It's
like they're-
Yeah, the Subaru has the same one. It's like a combo with Subaru, right?
Yeah,
Theirs is the FRS, I think, is
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Scion.
Toyota has
think
one
so.
as well, which is
Yeah.
like the better one.
Toyota. Yeah, we did some work for a guy that had one shipped from Japan. It was one of the actual Toyotas.
Yeah,
and
they're bad.
Yeah, it was powerful.
I had a buddy that had the Scion version
Really?
and tried to drive it like the Subaru, the Toyota.
Yeah.
Didn't make it, man. Like I think he had it for like 4 months and it just trashed out on him.
Those were their only rear-wheel drive cars, right? Were they
Yes.
rear-wheel drive, I think?
Yes, they weren't front wheel.
Yeah. We got
Yeah.
I don't even know what to look up because I don't know anything about
FRS.
cars.
FRS.
Uh-huh.
Like forward, reverse, special.
I mean, they're sweet looking cars and like
For the
But
price
you-
too. I mean,
yeah,
if
but I
you're
mean-
wanting to get something sporty, for the price they weren't really that bad. But
I'm
they're-
sure you could have
they're-
modded it to make
yeah.
it sweet,
BRZ. That's the Subaru version. BRZ.
but, click on the Scion.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There
right
you go.
there.
There you go.
FRS.
Yeah.
I mean, they look like they'll move, and I think they did, but
they definitely look like it.
yeah.
See if you can find some stats on that car. See if you can give me some numbers. Go to the
See
website.
if there's one with a deer in the back of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Type in Scion FRS.
Do you have that picture?
I've got
you
it
could,
on
like,
my phone. I don't.
Email it to her.
She
or
can
something,
she
or
can
like,
pull up your Instagram. You said it's
I've
on your-
got. Well,
I mean,
I'm a
because
little
that's
special, and I have 2 Instagrams.
Oh, fancy.
I don't know which one it's on.
Look at you, fancy pants.
I started a hunting page. I like to be outdoors, and
this dude is like ultimate.
I will do
Hunter.
anything. Like if I see a dead buck on the side of the road that's been sitting there for. There was one that had sat there for about 3 months in a puddle,
Jesus fuck, man.
and I took my buddy. I was like,
Don't tell me
Just-
you ate that.
no.
God, Jesus.
I pulled the head off, and I was like cutting through it. This dude drove by. He's like, y'all need help?" He's like, "What are y'all doing?" And I was over there hacking on this.
Was it a buck or something?
Yeah,
Mm.
I mean, it was like a little spike, but I wanted to take it home, bleach it, and burn something cool on the skull.
There you go.
But yeah, it smelled terrible.
That was my next question.
I ruined a pair of nice rubber boots. Y'all are distracting me right now.
Here we go. The FRS. 6-speed. Yeah, a little flat 4. What's the weight on that thing? Curb weight.
1251.
Wow, that weighs nothing.
Oh, 27.
Under 3,000 pounds. What's the 0 to 60 on that thing?
I don't know how to.
See if you can find that.
What if I sent this to y'all's Instagram page? Would it be easier to pull it then? Because you have to scroll pretty far.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So what? 7.1.
Wow, that's pretty terrible for a rear-wheel drive coupe.
It looks fast.
It doesn't look fast. That's very disappointing. My fancy Prius went almost that fast. That's very, very, very terrible.
I mean, you would, I guess, think you could interchange the parts and make it fast.
Yeah, just
But I guess
throw a new motor in there. Throw
might
a
as well
V6
just
in
bump
there.
up and buy the Toyota or the Subaru. Like,
Yeah.
probably making payments on it. Might as well just. Get
I think that was Scion's goal though. Was like, let's make something that looks fast. That's
Not.
that's
Did
cheap.
you send it to
Yeah.
Randy's Instagram or to the Same Old Devils one?
I'd say Old Devils.
Okay.
Do I need to do it to Randy's?
No, you can do it. She can sign in
I
Okay.
have
to
to.
the Same Old Devils. It should be signed in to the Same Old Devils anyway. Really.
It
Actually,
should
it's
be.
probably a quick change. Just click on that. Click on me. You
I
can-
did. I
Part
did.
time at Lucky Bella.
It's
huh?
not just.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! And I can't scroll. Why won't it let me scroll?
Never mind. Maybe you should just send it to me. This is
Yeah.
gonna be. This production is a disaster.
It's not
okay.
me. It's just
Wah,
like
wah, wah.
whatever.
Bam. Here we go.
I am pretty interested to see a deer in a TC.
Dude, it was the best day of my life.
That's saying a lot. Now I've got high
No,
expectations.
I've got some people that would probably be mad at me for saying the best day of my life, but it was a good day. Okay, here we go. It was hot too. I mean, why do they start bow season in
How would you
September?
even? I don't even know how to get DMs from here because it doesn't have the DM. Like,
Oh my god. What a disaster.
it doesn't have the DM option here.
Here, I'm just gonna. Let me just do a little magic.
Maybe I should just post it on my Instagram, like right now. That way, it'll be there.
I gotcha.
Top
I
to
gotcha.
top.
Just put it in your story.
My story.
Is that what you do?
Yeah, but I don't know how to. Dude,
Put it
I'm
in your
not
story.
tech. Like, how do you take a picture that you posted forever ago, and take it and put it in your story now?
I'm gonna do a quick airdrop.
Just go down.
This has become the podcast of let's figure out how to work social media.
We need some younger folks in here.
This should be coming to you. You got it?
No.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry I started this.
Start out as gear talk.
To Deer Talk.
From gear to deer. Gear to deer in
That happens
2.5.
with- I mean, is that a song?
It should be.
Yeah. That usually
Brain-
this is usually how our practices go down too.
You're not getting the airdrops?
Ooh, that's
Uh-uh. No.
All right.
Cold coffee and Irish.
There it is.
Wait.
There it is.
Okay.
Pull that
There we
up.
go.
Eventually. And there it is. There's more than one way to skin a cat.
Yeah.
Zoom in. Zoom in.
There
Give me a
might-
little zoomy zoom. Jesus.
Well, actually,
gnarly.
it doesn't look like. Okay, so underneath his rear end was some carpet scraps that I had in the back of my car from a job, I guess. And then it looks like maybe some Walmart bags around the rest of it. And, yeah,
Nice.
I drug him like 500 yards because I walked way out there, didn't take something to bring him back on, so. The old Scion. It's still
gnarly,
going.
man.
Somebody
It's
put
freaking
a-
cool.
One of my friends put a new motor in it and still drives it. I don't think he knows that
The tick infestation.
Yeah. It's
Jesus.
probably still finding ticks.
That's crazy.
What's the
going
trick
on?
to getting ticks out of a TC?
Dude, honestly, I vacuumed it out and pulled a bunch of them off of me. I mean, there's no
Just
way to
sit
really.
there and let them
You
come
could
to
bomb.
you.
I
and
guess
then,
I could have bombed it, but I was
Yeah.
like, if I bomb this and then like turn my AC on and some of that stuff's just chilling, waiting for me,
Yeah, that would be
driving down the
bad.
road.
You get open the window, be alright.
Those cars, though, man, they're just little tricks, little traps.
Right.
Anyway, Jesus, we went way astray on that one.
Yeah.
That was a good. Wow.
It started with my base name. Is where that we went from Springfield, Missouri to there.
Yeah.
Ticks and TCs.
Takes and TC. So many good song names tonight.
Right? Somebody should be writing these down.
Right.
So what are you jamming?
I am right now. This playing in this band has given me an excuse to go shop the past year. So I'm playing a Vox AC15 just off the rack with a I think it's a 25 watt greenback for the speaker. American Telly and a Les Paul Standard. And for pedals, I really don't use a whole lot. For distortion or overdrive, really, it's the Full Tone MOSFET 2. Just got a overdrive and a boost. A couple other switches. I'm terrible with gear talk. I got an OCD that I use for a boost. Full Tone OCD that I use for a boost. And let's see, I've got the traditional Phase 90 that I use on just a couple of songs, a little phase effect, and for delay, carbon copy, a little carbon copy delay.
Nice.
And Boss tuner. Just, I'm one of those guys, man, if you can't buy it just off the shelf at any guitar center or guitar store, I really don't. I mean, I'd like to get into a couple of the, shack built pedals, but if we ever get to where we're working full time, I like to have stuff that is easily interchangeable. Stuff goes down.
That makes sense.
And I'm just kind of I don't need a lot, man. I'm just kind of a simple guitar player.
I can't ever get enough pedals.
They are fun.
Man,
Yeah.
I got
saw
a little
that Big Sky.
I got a
out
little
there.
shoegaze project that I've been working on
Yeah.
for myself, and I'm always looking at pedals.
Yeah.
It feels like
Yeah.
I always need something else.
Yeah. Never
I always
ends.
need a better version. Yeah, it's never enough.
Yeah.
There's always something else that I need.
Do you like that Big Sky out there, the Strymon?
I love it.
Yeah.
That thing, really. Besides that, I got that Benson amp, which is the greatest thing I've ever owned.
Benson?
Yeah,
Benson.
they're hand wired up in Oregon.
Oh, nice.
Just a boutique amp. It's really great. That one that I have has a it's a little 30 watt.
Combo? I guess.
Yeah, and then got the it's got a dirty channel in front of the clean channel,
Mm-hmm.
which is a little different,
Mm-hmm.
but I love it. I'll show you after this.
Is that what you use primarily as the
For
dirty?
everything? I use it
Mhm.
for I mostly stay on the dirty channel, but
Mhm.
just for what I play.
You can't beat Strymon pedals.
Man, that Big Sky, that's the backbone.
That would be my next probably go to where I would want to go next is into the Strymons.
Yeah.
Everything I've seen on them. And you can get those just about anywhere
yeah.
nowadays too.
Yeah.
They're sweet.
Our guitarist for Cherry at the Moon for a while, he used the Strymon Timeline,
Yeah.
and
Is that delay?
yeah,
Yeah.
it was nice.
They got a couple others that I've been looking at. Of course, there's a couple Chase Bliss pedals that I've really been lusting after.
Mm-hmm.
But those are on the high end of the boutique. They just came out with a looper called Blooper
Mm-hmm.
that I just found out about recently,
Mhm.
like this week, that I want really bad right now. just to help with songwriting and fucking around.
What kind of style of music do you play, or just
A little of everything.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything.
Like, what would you? I don't want to say model yourself after, but I mean, kind of like what would be somebody that you would compare yourself to?
Man, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Hard question.
It is a really hard question.
Sorry, man.
I got my fingers in
A lot of different.
everything. I mean, I listen to a little bit of everything, so I just try to take inspiration from
Sure.
everything. A lot of right now, I'm really into like a lot of shoegaze stuff, a lot of like 80s synthwave stuff. Just kind of that's where I'm leaning right now.
Yeah.
But I've been on a more countryside. I've been on a more rocky side. I've been on some metal.
Mhm.
Just a little
You
bit
like
of
the-
everything.
Do you like the Sturgill Simpson stuff? Kind of that. It's almost like classic space country. Like, he's got some. He goes out there, dude.
He's got some
awesome.
crazy. He's got some
He
crazy
gets
stuff.
out there.
Yeah.
Because
Cool.
he's almost got some of that like synthy 80 sounds to
Oh,
his
yeah.
newest, the Sound and Fury, I believe.
That's a
it's
cool
called.
record.
Yeah, like
I still haven't. I
Awesome.
still haven't checked it out.
we first time I had heard it, they had that on Netflix. They had
Yeah, that
it's like an anime from
film.
start to finish of his it starts with his album playing, and it's like every song had its own.
It's like his
anime
vision of
scene.
the album.
Really?
Yeah, he had he was over in Japan for like 2 months while they worked on it. It was supposed to start out as a like a 2-song. They were gonna put 2 songs together and make an anime out of it, and they're like, well, let's do the whole album and put it on Netflix.
Apparently, he worked with some like pretty prominent,
Yeah.
well-known anime guys over there too. Like,
Yeah, and it was a lot of it was based off of like the artwork was based off of big names too, like stuff that he liked, which I thought was cool. I've never
Yeah.
seen a country artist do something like that. I don't know if you.
No, definitely not.
some old Waylon gets out there. And Shooter Jennings. Oh, that's who I was gonna say. He's got some albums that are out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
But-
the deeper you dig, the more you find.
I didn't know that
It's
about
crazy.
Sturgill's newest album. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's just one of those things you sit down and, I mean, I had no complaints.
I need to
Yeah,
check
it's
it
cool.
out.
It's a cool
Great
record.
album.
It's definitely more rock and roll, but I mean, it almost feels like it ties in like some David Bowie. It gets kind of weird, man. It gets out there.
Nice. See, that's what I like. That's part of like what I was talking about
Yeah.
earlier. It's
Yeah.
just it's good to be able to step out of that comfort zone with stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Right, because you look at his earlier stuff, it's that very twangy,
Old school.
the swinging country,
Yeah.
and
Super old.
now I love it.
I wasn't very much a fan of him when I listened to his first couple of records, and I mean there were a couple of songs, but then again I was still kind of playing rock and roll at the time, and I'm kind of opposite. Like, once I get into a genre, I'm like all
Dive
in. Like
in.
I don't
Yeah.
come out, from under the covers like until I've like done everything. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I was playing rock and roll, and then when Guns N' Roses came to town, and Sturgill was on the bill, I was like, man, I get why they did it to bring, they targeted their opening bands for Guns N' Roses in each, like area, depending on what's popular, and so Sturgill was with him, and I was kind of bummed out. But that dude made so much fucking noise for I think he was a 4-piece or a 5-piece. 4-piece?
4-piece
At the time. He was a 4-piece, and he was so loud, and it was just straight up rock and roll.
What was
Like
that?
country rock and roll was
What
badass.
what show was he on that y'all sent a link? It was like a talk show, like a night show. And he
Yeah.
was a special guest, and that was like one of the most epic.
It was either like an
performances I've
SNL
seen. Yeah,
or,
it was something like that,
like a
late night show or something. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't Jimmy Fallon or anything.
You could probably look
but-
it up. Can you do that, or can
What
we
song
do that
was
on
that?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
Sturgill, look for.
Who
Damn,
sent
I
it?
don't-
Do you remember?
I sent it because I was on a coffee bender
Jesus,
at
I
work
couldn't.
and freaking.
Like Sturgill Simpson.
If you just maybe like type in live or something. Dude, I don't know. That's how it started, man. Like I don't know. Whenever.
Just scroll down a little bit.
I see some SNL.
Is it called Arms?
I don't know. How about I'll find it while we
talk-
get back on track on
Yeah.
beer talk.
Yeah, we can do that.
I'll find
Yeah,
it.
Yeah,
'cause
I like
yeah,
that.
you
It's
We
gonna take a
still have
minute
a
to
drummer over
I'll
here
find
that has a
Yeah.
ton of stuff.
What are you
Yeah,
hitting
and it's
on?
gonna take him a
It's
minute
gonna be a
because
minute. I
our
got plenty of
band,
time.
our band text group is insane.
Like it should be.
Like it's.
I'm trying.
We always send lyrics and stuff through there, and then it's like we come back to practice and we're like, "Hey, somebody found those lyrics," and it's like just scrolling back a week, and you're scrolling for 30 minutes.
That's me in pictures.
Mhm.
I take like a million pictures when I try to take a picture of a tattoo because it's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah,
And trying to scroll back through and find those is a nightmare. Or scroll back through and find one picture that I took
Yeah.
that I'm specifically looking for.
mm-hmm.
Forget it. But yeah, what are you hitting on?
Man, I actually play a Pearl Export, just basic kit, you know. All Zildjian cymbals. Got 14-inch hats, a custom, 16-inch, a custom crash, and then I actually play a 22-inch ping ride, and then my other crash is a 20-inch K custom hybrid.
Sounds so good too.
Yeah, dude, that thing's freaking sweet. And then I actually cracked 2 cymbals, and I use that. I just stack them on the side, and you just have like a little trash cymbal over there, you know, 18 and a 16-inch A custom, and just beat the piss out of it every now and again, you know.
Sure. Mix it up.
Yeah, yeah. But DW hardware, 5,000 double bass. The kit that I play is actually, so my best friend growing up was he played drums too. That's actually one of the big reasons that I started playing the drums, because his older brother played, and every time we'd go over to his house and hang out, we'd beat on his brother's drums, and like we weren't supposed to, like teabag your drum set kind
Yeah.
of deal. Like,
Oh, stepbrothers situation going on.
Like, but every time he'd leave, me and Jake were in there banging the hell out of that thing, you know. And he actually passed away in 2010, and his parents gave me his drum kit after he passed, and that's what I play now. Like, it's just that's what I told them. I was like, dude, I got to get a new kit. Like, if we're gonna start playing, because if something happens to that, I'm gonna die. Like,
Yeah, that's
that'll
rough.
kill me.
That thing
But-
needs to be.
Yeah, it needs to be at the house. But I got like a little
safe.
plaque that where the toms go. I took all that out and put a plaque right there, and it's got me and him when we're like 10 or 11. We went to Gaston's and went fishing with his dad, and I got that on there, and like, you know, his birth and his dates on there, and that's dude, I love it. Like, I would take that thing everywhere if I knew nothing was ever gonna happen to it. Like, just, it's cool to me to have that thing on stage recording, you know, doing all that kind of stuff, just because it's like he's still here, you know what I mean? Like, he's living through that kit. Like, that's what I like about it. Like, every time I sit down and look down at him, you know, it's just cool. I like it.
Yeah.
But, and they sound pretty good. Like, I mean, that's
Like, mic'd up, they sound
yeah.
great. I'm gonna steal a line.
But
Yeah, help yourself, man.
yeah, I'm kind of like Jackson when it comes to my gear. Like, I try to keep it pretty simple. Just, I've done the big drum sets with the racks and a bazillion cymbals and all that shit. And you start trying to tear that down after a show, or you're opening up for somebody and you're that dickhead drummer that's got, you know, freaking Neil Peart.
That's the
kit.
thing
Like,
with drums,
I mean, it's
right?
like, dude, like,
Who's this
Yeah.
asshole?
Yeah,
that dickhead didn't even touch half of that stuff, and he's got
exactly.
It's like
Every-
most local bands
Yeah.
you see as a kid. It's like,
Yeah.
Why do you need 7 toms? Like,
Every sound guy, every member of your band, every member of your opening or following band, they're all rolling their eyes. This fucking guy, but he doesn't touch half of it, and they're just keeping count.
yeah.
And are they really? Let's be honest. Do they look that good? Like, what looks better? A nice symmetric, just
Dude, my biggest
Like 3
thing, unless you
toms.
are Neil Peart, like, I would much rather
At
see a
most.
dude get up there and beat the piss out of a minimal setup.
Well, let's be
Like,
honest
that's
too.
just cool as shit to me.
Most stages There's
are
not enough room
tiny.
for all that shit.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Especially with if you got 4 or more in your band,
Mm-hmm.
you better keep it streamlined.
Yeah. That's what on our rider it actually says. It says if the stage is big enough, we got a 6th person that we're gonna bring up. So give us some more
If
shit.
not, just have a 30-pack for him in the back.
Nice.
He'll be fine.
We got a
Yeah.
20-piece choir that likes to travel with us.
They just ride under the bus.
Yeah.
But
you
how
find
badass
it?
would that be?
That would be pretty dope.
It would be really great.
Did you find that video?
Call to arms.
It is called Arms.
It is called Arms.
Oh yeah.
Choked on that one. Breathing.
Call to arms.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's definitely not country.
It's just gonna play super loudly.
okay if
What's
it
the
does.
volume at on the computer?
I'm a mom.
Oh my god, these ads.
Right? Like, the
Skip that
longer
shit.
you use YouTube, the more ads they give you.
I hate ads. I hate there's
It was
ads in
SNL,
general.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. But it's mainly the end of the song where
Yeah.
he just, it's just cool, man. It's cool to see a guy that's not afraid to be different.
Right?
You know?
He's not a. He doesn't care if his stuff gets paid or played
Yeah.
on the radio.
What's the
Doesn't matter.
was it January 30th, 2017. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, see, he didn't have the rhythm guitarist or whatever back there when he was with Guns,
No.
and no backup singers.
That piano that dude's playing is pretty gnarly too. Like you
Yeah.
can see all the innards of it.
And he's really, he's a good singer, but kind of,
Yeah.
you know?
It's the passion.
Yeah, he's a songwriter, man.
Yeah.
That's
He can-
what
There's.
passion will make a difference,
Yeah.
man.
I don't know if you ever listened to Acidy's Burn, but let's be real, their vocalists, neither one of them were that good, but
Yeah.
it was all the passion.
Dude, yeah. I catch those dudes every single chance that I can.
Really.
Yeah, I love those guys.
Heck yeah.
We need a horn section.
Right. Yeah, I don't think he's currently playing with any of these guys.
The
Maybe
drummer, the drummer's still with him.
Yeah.
Actually, I think he was actually on Joe Rogan right before his album came out, and he actually took his entire band in there with him, and they
Really?
were all mic'd up and everything. It was kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah, because now he's got that little dude playing, or skinny dude playing bass.
Hmm.
That dude is swapping out his sax.
Oh, the big guy's not playing bass for him anymore?
I don't think so.
Oh. Well, what if he lost a lot of weight? It was 2 years ago.
He lost a lot of weight and got really young too.
Oh, yeah. Shave the beard, cut the
I'm
hair,
pretty
man.
sure he's still got the young
Yeah.
dude. I haven't really watched a whole lot of live stuff.
But you're going to see him, though, in a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, I'm going to St. Louis to see him and Tyler Childers.
Nice.
Yeah, that's gonna
I'm
be
excited.
sweet. Tyler Childers is a pretty cool cat, too.
I was gonna ask you, how do you like your Telecaster? I've been really on the fence with getting one.
I wish I would have bought it sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I would have had it for some of the rock and roll stuff we did.
Oh yeah.
I'm real into like Tom Petty, Mike Campbell, his guitar player, Keith Richards. I'm kind of like an old school classic rock. That's what I grew up listening to and chasing as a guitar player. That kind of those guys. So I like it. You can play pretty much anything on it. I honestly like it better in the neck position, and it just cranked up. It sounds really good for like some blues stuff, some soul, some blues stuff. It sounds really good. But then whenever I just need like a really good clean tone with some overdrive, I don't know, kind of like I guess not Jamie Johnson, Chris Stapleton would be, and Jamie Johnson, but Chris Stapleton would kind of be my direction for like a country style of tone.
Yeah.
Just kind of Americana, Texas blues. I don't know. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said yours was the American one?
The American. I played a couple of the Mexican tellies, and they sounded good. And I'm sure I've had a Mexican telly in the past, and it was fine. But I was also very less knowledge on things, and it never stayed in tune. but just my experience with the American Telly, wherever I set the tuning knobs, it stays. Sounds great, and when I picked it up, just the feel of it just felt right.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not hard to explain. I mean, anybody who kind of picks up an instrument knows, within the second or two that they're playing it, like, okay, now we're talking. And
Yeah.
that's the way it was. And I'm just like, if I'm gonna own a Fender, I've got to own. It's made in California. It's made in Corona, California.
There you go.
And I was like, man, if you're gonna own a Telly,
Yeah.
you better buy the American one and learn how to pronounce words. Yeah.
California.
Corona, California.
Well, I mean, really, with any, like, I've played Stingrays that felt great and some that didn't feel great. My buddy had a Japanese, it was a Squire Telly, and that thing sounded amazing. And he ended up putting like some stacked humbucker pickups in it. Ended up playing metal with it for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thing sounded nasty on some like southern.
I just
southern rock.
recently played the new Japanese Strat. I don't know what it's called. My future father-in-law just bought one. I forgot what kind of wood it's made of, but the neck is so smooth and fast. And I was like, man, if this were painted white and had a maple neck on it like Jimi Hendrix, I would go cop one immediately because it played really good. I mean,
Is
really
it
good.
a
So
newer model?
yeah,
Or
it's
like a reissue, or is it a?
no, it's just it's a Japanese model. I have to look. It's called like the air liner or air. Let me see. Air. Hang on. I'm about to mess
I'm
that
pretty
up.
sure the one that he put those pickups in, I think it was Japanese. It was an older.
Mhm.
He got it from one of his grandfathers that played country.
I've got that Mexican Jazzmaster,
Mhm.
and I like it a lot more than I expected to, which I had a good idea that I was going to.
Yeah.
It's a lot smoother than I thought, but I am playing it through that Benson, which is for man
I'm trying to think of
the greatest amp I've ever played in my life. I can't
I've
say
seen-
enough about him.
Trying to remember who I've seen play Benson amps.
David Bazan plays them. Ryan Adams plays them. They've got a whole list of people that they endorse. I love them,
I feel
man.
like recently I've seen somebody, they're killer. I want a matchless bass amp.
On a matchless amp as well.
They're expensive, but way too expensive.
You can fall in deep rabbit holes with amps, man.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can do that with any music gear in general,
no
but
doubt.
that's
PayPal credit is dangerous.
oh yeah. Yeah.
Like you start custom ordering Kiesels,
Mm.
get you in trouble.
Yeah.
I was very close. I had one custom designed, and I'm glad I stuck with the Music Man though. I mean, I'm sure those Kiesels, I've never played any of them, but everybody that I know that records with them, they kill. I like them.
So what do you guys what do you got? You got the
This
Benson
is
list?
the list of artists that used them.
Oh, looky there, on top of it.
They have a whole Bon Iver uses a Vinny? I didn't know that. Yeah, David Bazan. I love that guy. I would endorse anything that man does.
Frank and
What?
Arrow. Frank and Arrow.
I don't know who that is.
My Chemical Romance.
Frank and Andrew? I'm supposed to know.
No.
You're just saying words. Yeah, I'll show you that Benson once we're done here, though. It is, man, it's fantastic.
Heck yeah.
As soon as I heard,
Oh, Backstreet Boys dude uses it.
nice.
Yes.
like you should.
Right.
That one I've got, the Vincent. That's for sure my favorite model that they have, because it's got the dirty channel ahead of the clean channel, and it just makes it more versatile. Just like I was talking about before, it's just there's just so much to it.
Yeah.
It's really great, and it looks cool as shit.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's like a band I listened to growing up, The Chariot. They always had some crazy custom-made stuff, and
Yeah.
I always dug it.
Those dudes are rad.
Yeah.
Did you know Norma Jean's on a house show tour right now?
Oh, yeah.
Actually,
I've been following there.
is
Here.
tonight they're in town.
No way.
Yeah.
Here?
Yeah. Yeah, it's tonight.
That's cool.
No, it sucks.
See, I've since I've been out of like the metal music scene, I cannot keep up with house shows to save my life.
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
know, it's-
if you're not following the band, you're not going to find it.
right,
Uh,
I follow them on Instagram. I didn't know they were coming to Arkansas.
Yeah,
I
they're.
think a few of them are from here, aren't they? I
I'm
know
not sure
at
about that.
at some point.
I'm not sure about that. Yeah, they're playing. I'm 99.9% sure it's tonight. And I tried to buy tickets the day they announced it, but I was offshore at the time and couldn't get
Dang.
tickets. They sold out within like hours, of course.
Where are they even doing house shows these days?
I can't remember the name of the place. We were there not too long ago watching As Cities Burn, actually. They did a little house show tour before
Yeah.
their big tour.
Right, I remember that.
And I can't remember the name of the place, but it's a real small little setup.
Band
Yeah,
Beer.
tonight.
Yeah, I told you.
Crazy.
I told
Little
you.
Rock, yeah.
Yeah, Eyes Up House. That's what it's called.
My hands cool.
It's like not too far from the fairgrounds.
Okay.
It's a pretty cool little spot. My Hands the War did a show there recently, where the vocalist cooked an omelet, and then somebody in the audience ate it while they were all moshing around her, and it was pretty strange and funny.
Didn't you have one of the members from My Hands War on?
Yeah, Corey.
Corey.
Corey was here, their drummer.
Yeah.
I messaged him as soon as I found out about this show, and I was like, where can I get these tickets? And he was like, dude, they're already sold out. And I was like, oh, fuck. Shit.
Yeah.
He was here. He did a show. He's also got Crash Cast. He's got a little podcast he does.
Okay.
Yeah, he's rad dudes, man.
Oh,
Rad
yeah.
dudes.
I don't personally know him, but we've run into each other a lot over the years with just going to shows and the music scene.
Right. It's a lot smaller around here than people imagine, than I imagined for
Yeah.
sure going into it. You bump elbows with just a little bit of everyone, really.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like, a lot of the people that were here in the scene when I was like just coming into it are all moved off to other parts of the world now, and it's not the scene that it was when I was growing up. But I'm sure everybody says that the older they get, that you just don't realize it if you don't stick with it as much.
It may just be like me coming into it as hard as I am now, or as much as I am now, I guess. There seems to be more of a revival around it right now.
Yeah.
There's a real renaissance happening. A lot of people actually coming out to shows. A lot of people, coming around and trying to support
Right.
local music, which is really great.
Oh yeah.
I try to rally behind that as much as I can. Try to
Yeah.
get more of that going.
Mm-hmm.
Downtown music. Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Yeah.
Was the place. Yeah,
That was-
Samantha Allen. Shout out to you.
Right?
She held Arkansas together for the longest time, I feel like.
That was the spot, man.
Vino's for a bit.
Yeah, she actually that's my uncle worked at Juanita's. He was doing all the booking there, and that's kind of how I got a foot in the door with the music scene and stuff like that. Because when I first started, it was so hard to get a show at Juanita's, and I think one of our first shows was with Red Jumpsuit. apparatus.
Nice.
It's crazy. Dude, I don't know if you've ever, I don't even know if there's a way, if it's like stored online, but to go back and see how many bands came through the old school Juanitas
Oh yeah.
back in the day. I mean, especially like rock and roll, but like, man, everybody played.
Yeah, you had all kinds of funk and blues players.
There was good music there
Oh yeah.
every night.
There was, and it sounded fantastic.
Yes.
and
Was it Dave, the front of house guy? I think his name was Dave.
Yeah. He was there for the older white dude.
Yeah, he was short, stalky, had kind of a salt and pepper
Kind of
beard.
quiet, kept to himself.
Quiet.
Yeah.
He ran that shit so
Oh yeah.
loud.
I did see him jump a band's ass from the sound booth back there one time because they just decided they were going to do an acoustic song, and nobody told them about it. And dude, like, I've never seen a sound guy flip the fuck out like he did. Like, I mean, screamed at them from the sound booth across Juanita's. It was like, dude, nobody told me about this. Y'all figure it out. And walked out from behind the sound booth. I was like, oh, you did it now.
That's like the worst person to piss off in the whole place too. Is the sound guy, front of house guy. Yeah, piss him off.
I actually, when they moved from Main Street to River Market, I actually got the soundboard. It was like the original soundboard. Yeah.
Do you still have that?
It's in Nashville at the band house that I was living in.
No kidding.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
That's crazy.
They actually they turned the basement after I moved back. They, I had a buddy that was working for a studio out there, so knew all the game and took that board and a bunch of other stuff, and they recorded their newest album on that down in their basement.
That's a relic.
Yeah, it was like 4 years worth of work just shoved into one album. They killed it. But yeah, it's crazy. I mean, just knowing the bands that I had seen that had been through that soundboard, and then the bands that had because I had a ton of old posters from like back in the day at Juanita's, all the just crazy people I didn't even know who they were until I got older and like listened to a little more than just metal.
Yeah. Well, back then you only had. It's still. There's only so many places you can play.
Right.
And that was a great one. The Village was a great one.
Oh, yeah.
Downtown was a great one. Vino's was okay, but a little rougher.
Mm-hmm.
That place is going through a big revival too. I saw more people. When was that? We went to the Punks for Paws show not too long ago.
Probably 4 or 5 weeks now at this point.
Was it that soon? I don't remember. I don't remember when it was. I have no idea. My time is just a big black hole. We went to that show, and there were so many people in that tiny little venue. But yeah, like they all everywhere just kind of went
the pizza
tits up. Yeah, plus fantastic. That's what makes that place. You can double down, you know.
I mean, when I was young, like every show we would go to would be nearly sold out, if not. I mean, you could go see After the Tragedy, and they would sell so many.
Man.
I mean, kids came to shows.
It's so funny that you bring those dudes up because I was just thinking about them probably a couple of weeks ago. I would just had my my phone on shuffle, and one of their songs came on, and I was like, man.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you can't talk that scene back then without mentioning those guys.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
they were ruling Arkansas for a while, in my opinion.
They should have been.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it's crazy. I remember when Joel was hanging from the rafters at Vino's and fell and I think broke his arm, broke his leg, one of the two. He laid on the ground and finished out like 2 more songs and was like, I think it's about time for me to go. The pain is kicking in.
Yeah. Ouch.
Yeah.
Man, I'm sorry. You're from here?
Yeah, I grew up around Heber.
Okay.
Went to school, finished school up at Concord. And yeah, just moved down here. Was living in Conway for, I don't know, maybe 10 years or so. Been here for about 2 or 3.
Cool.
Yeah. Always from the area though.
Yeah. Cool.
Where you guys like playing the most around town? Where have you guys played that you've really enjoyed?
Man.
The barn on Dogwood.
Yeah, that was our first full band
Yeah, so
show.
check this out. You can scroll
Kinch.
down. Scroll down on this. I think it's on this page.
I mean, we've only really played two
Two
actual
public,
yeah, right
public
here.
shows.
Hit
Yeah.
play on that one. So this was like we put this together ourselves.
Well, let me correct you. You put this together,
Yeah.
so this shit would not happen. No, seriously, wouldn't have happened.
So this was kind of our first like full band coming out party, I guess you could call it. Like right outside of Cabot. Like this is in Austin at a wedding venue.
That's a
barn.
lot of people.
We had
It
just
was-
over 400 people show up.
Yeah.
Like,
And
I mean,
you can't see it, but we had the Razorback game on a projector screen just outside the barn. So like most of the, well, not most, but probably a third of the crowd were out there watching us get our asses kicked.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's so there were more. Yeah.
That was a tough year.
You
So
think people would get used to?
we just
seeing-
like we got out here and we did a it was a $10 get in, $10 entry, bring your own beer. And
Nice.
we were just like, dude, let's see what we can do. So I started kind of like just going around to businesses around town because I was like, I want this to be a freaking show. Like, I don't want to just have some dickheads out here on a fucking flatbed semi-trailer. And, you know, I'm not trying to do that. Like, I want to bring people out here and throw a show for them. And
Yeah.
we had Brad Bird with Bylights hooked up with him. They ran sound, did all the lights and everything. And we actually went around to businesses in Cabot and was like, dude, this is what we're trying to do. Would y'all be interested? We put together a packet, you know, a sponsorship packet. And like our main sponsor, we went and did like an acoustic show for them to help kind of, you know, you're giving us this money. We're putting on the show, but here's something to act that, you know, you're actually going to get out of it.
Nice.
Because at that time we didn't have anything to offer, you know. I mean, we're just trying to get our stuff out there. And dude, it went off without a hitch. Like, I mean, yeah, we put over a little over 400 people in there, 450, something like that, and no fights, no nothing. Everybody was happy. Like, which
Really?
what was cool, it was like, I mean, I'm from Cabot. A couple of other guys in the band are from Cabot, like Tyler and all that. So I mean, it was pretty much you knew. You had your cliques out there or whatever, but everybody in every clique knew somebody. So it was just like, it was kind of like a giant high school reunion, really. I mean, in a weird way, with like 20 years span of people. But I mean, it was a hell of a time. Like, we're gonna do it again this year. We're doing it November 7th, I think. And yeah, we're gonna try to. I mean,
They get like a yearly,
yeah,
kind of a yearly thing.
try to get
Nice.
a food truck out there. I mean, and
Well,
it's,
We were supposed
yeah,
to.
we were
have
supposed to have a food truck. I wish I knew their name.
I think that's why everybody got as drunk as they did, because everybody was like pre-gaming and
Dude.
like taking shots in the parking lot. Like, oh man, when this food truck gets here for dinner, it's gonna be awesome. And they never showed up.
Dude,
so,
that
like,
dude would have
people
made so
just-
much freaking money.
Oh my
like,
God, like-
I wish I knew. I wish I knew the
shadied
food
us.
truck. I wish I could remember.
They were like, "Yeah, be there in 30."
Yeah,
It's
and then
3
never-
hours later,
Yeah.
we're like packing up, and
People are puking in the parking lot and shit because they're so drunk.
Yeah, super drunk.
Yeah, it's like-
hungry.
Like,
Fake out.
I wish I would have just taken like $300 and gave it to my father-in-law and been like, dude, go grab some pizzas and just start
Yeah.
passing
See
them
that
out. Just
somebody
just
got
to
smart and brought pizza.
Did they?
And when we were cleaning up at the end, I found like a half a pizza, and I ate it all by myself.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure
That's the
your,
move.
your wife judged me. The whole,
So-
everybody, she was like, "I'm sure that you just got."
Dude, cold Little Caesars pizza.
It was. I'm pretty sure
is-
Domino's or
I
Papa
thought it was.
John's. Or,
Oh.
I don't know. Dude, if you really think I remember, I was surprised to remember I ate pizza that night.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Strong night.
It was. I
It
was.
sounds like a good time.
Dude, it was a blast, man. I mean, if you're in town
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
November, you need to come check it out.
Yeah,
I mean, because we try to get. I mean, we had an opener, a girl named Mallory Everett. She's a freaking badass, man. And she opened for us that year. We've got a couple other connections this year that I've got in mind that we're going to use. We try to keep it, you know, local. I mean, that's kind of our deal. This year we're gonna try to hook up with like a charity of some sort, and then that way, you know, try to give back to the community a little bit. And just out around Cabot area, we just don't have a lot of stuff like that to go do. You know, I mean, and
Yeah.
it's over. I think we were done by 10:30, something like that. So I mean, like, people that do have kids and stuff can come out, enjoy yourself. You're not too far from home. You don't have to drive all the way downtown. You know, I mean, it was. I was really surprised with. We were expecting 150 people.
Yeah.
You know, and then cars just keep rolling in. Like,
Yeah, I mean, we
Yeah.
really didn't.
I was sitting in like the middle of everybody at one point, and I turned around, and there was, I would say the gravel drive for that place was probably 200-300 yards
Yeah.
long,
Mhm.
and just loaded with jacked up trucks. So I was
Yeah.
like,
Had,
man, there,
like, you could just see the sun was going down. I've got some GoPro footage
there had to
of
be
that. Yeah, like I mean, it was one of those things we didn't. It was either going to be 100 people or 400. We really didn't know. And then
Yeah.
people just started showing up, and we were like, oh hell, like this is about to go down. This is about to be tight.
It was-
Nice.
It was funny. One of my buddies was like, "Man, I looked out in that that parking lot, and there was like $4 million worth of jacked up trucks out there."
Which, like, Guatney Chevrolet was one of our sponsors. Like, they brought
Yeah.
2 trucks and parked them out by a driveway. So we got jacked up trucks with flashers on and stuff. Like, I mean,
Nice.
it turned into a pretty legit production. Like, I was surprised. Like, I mean, I was like, dude, this actually came together pretty freaking well. And that's what we're gonna. I mean, shit, we're gonna
Yeah.
do it again this year.
Ryan busted his ass on that, so
Yeah.
cheers to you, man.
Yeah,
Like seriously, I
appreciate
mean, that whole thing wouldn't have happened without it, and I mean, he just knocked it out of the park, man. And he made it all very effortless on the guys in the band. You know, some of them, well, mainly, I mean, I don't think Tyler had really ever played his gig, like
Mm-mm.
headlined a gig like that. So, you know, he kept it easy on him. And you know, the stage coming in and the production and the front of house and the lighting and everything, everything just ran so smoothly. So knocked
was
it out of
cool.
the park, man.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
really rad.
So yeah, that's. I mean, like, we've played that. We've done some private shows. That's kind of been where we've kind of done more of our stuff. But we just got to play the Rev Room for the first time, and that was cool. We opened up. Well, it was kind of a weird deal. We played the last, but it was we played with a band called The Roads Below. I think they're out of Nashville.
Mhm.
Super cool dudes. But we got to play with them out there, and I mean, dude, we had a good crowd at that one too. Just between them and us, I mean, I'd say there's, I think probably 300. So I mean,
Yeah.
in the Rev Room.
Yeah, I
Um,
think they said it was close to that. It was between like 250, 275
Yeah.
or so. And for 2 bands that had never played the Rev Room, turned out really well. But I think that's going to be the case with Tyler just about anywhere he goes, because he's just a genuine dude, and he has a lot of friends, and you know, people believe in him and they support him, and you know, I feel like he is a good representation of where he comes from and the music he writes and stuff, and he's just kind of the total package, but it's all the real deal.
Yeah.
You know, and he's just got this genuine thing about him, and I think it attracts people, and you know, he's got it going, man.
Yeah.
It blew my mind to see that many people at a first show. I
Mhm.
mean, supporting.
Mhm.
I mean, I know we all had people there supporting us, of all of our families and friends, but
Well,
I mean, he's got that crowd that has followed him around since he's been an acoustic act,
Yeah.
opening up for other
mhm.
bands. I mean, just before we even started playing with him, he would open up for a big band, and after he played, everybody'd leave. And it's crazy to really see like the people that show up for him, and it's the same faces every time.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you'll see somebody from the last show, but they've brought someone else, and
Mhm.
it's really took off
Yeah.
like a wildfire,
Yeah, that's good.
which is it's crazy.
That's what this
I'm
area
excited.
needs in general.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember a band called Schoolboy Humor
Mm-mm.
from back in that would have been kind of back in the after the tragedy,
Yeah, a
but they
little
were
bit after the tragedy.
after
like-
the tragedy.
It's like
They were
more
literally after the tragedy.
Like,
Kind of. Not really.
some more about PM Today. Did you ever listen to PM Today?
I do know PM Today.
Yes, very
Yeah.
much.
They're still, I guess they're playing with, or some of them are playing with Boom Kinetic or Kinetic.
Boom Kinetic.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I might have just spread a lie, but I'm pretty sure one of the Brogans is tearing it up with.
Yeah, the dude from the singer from Schoolboy Humor is now doing country music in Nashville. So he was in town doing the gig with us. So it was cool to see a lot of, he's had a following from the early mid 2000s, from that era that has followed him kind of through his career. And when he came back to Little Rock, because he lives in Nashville now, he's based out of Nashville and doing the Nashville thing. It was cool to see him come back and bring out a lot of, 35-year-olders and stuff that were, guys that were with him from way back then, bring them out to the show for, country music. And it was an interesting night to see, people there with bleach blonde hair and tattoos that followed him around from that, time period. Getting into country music, it was cool.
Yeah, and those dudes were super awesome.
Yeah,
That's like just even between sets or whatever, just them, because they played and then we came on and just help. I've never seen a touring band like that. It's kind of, once they get done, they go and do their own thing. They get the hell out of Dodge. Every single one of them dudes are up there grabbing gear, helping us
Super
change out.
professional.
Dude. Nothing but praises for them. That was awesome. I wasn't expecting that. That's always been my experience with a little bit bigger bands. When you get to open with them, they come with the attitude and everything. We don't have to.
Some bands are assholes, no matter who.
And those every single one of them, dude. They were all freaking
professional.
Great guys. I was really impressed.
Yeah, that'll make a big difference.
Mm-hmm. Well, it kind of makes me to where when can we do something else? When can that's the kind of people I want to work with. That's the kind of people I want to network with. That's what I want to be around, because they're there to help you just as much as you are them. You know what I mean? That's cool. That's the way it should be, in my opinion. You're hired to bring a show to this town, work together and deliver.
Even outside of the industry, you go to see someone and then go to meet them at some point, or go to talk to them, just hey man, big fan of your shit. And if they're assholes, it just really puts a damper on the whole thing.
Yeah.
There's been a couple bands that I've had that interaction with where it's well, I guess I don't like his shit that much.
Yeah.
I can live without it.
It happens a lot, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I feel like.
But that road life is hard though. So at a point, there's a balance
you
there,
get a
right?
little grumpy from time to time.
You can't hold them responsible for what they're feeling, because
Yeah.
I
don't know. Can you? Because
everybody has bad days.
True.
But at the same time, your fans are what's keeping you fucking going.
It is.
So
but
if you're gonna treat them like shit, what's the?
Yeah.
Also, when you're spending 5 hours in a car, packed with all these other guys, all your shit, you get to where you're going, you grab a little food that's not in a package, and then you got to break down, pack it all back up, and then get back in the car for another 5 hours after, a 4-hour break there. I can see how people get grumpy.
It sounds terrible, but sign me up. Let's do it.
Right?
Well, yeah.
Right?
To me, that's kind of a part of the gig. Every band has been at the bottom before, so anytime you get a chance to open up for a well-known band, you want to shake a hand, and if you can even get a minute with them to get some advice, that could take you a long way. So I think it is important, to shake a hand and put on a smile for a couple minutes and just chat and go about your day. I guess I don't know.
Everybody looks at it a little differently.
I get it, dude.
I feel like if you're not completely enjoying what you're doing, or if you're not enjoying who you're around every day, that's a big part of it too. If there's any, it's like a 4 or 5 way marriage being in a band. So
yeah, that's a whole nother aspect to it right there. That's
and confine it to a bus where you don't get to shower, you don't get to eat.
Yeah,
and
if you're lucky, a bus.
Yeah. Well, yeah, true.
If you're not big enough, maybe just a van.
Oh yeah, we've had our shares of vans, van trips.
Yeah,
I love a good old conversion van. It's like a lady with curves. Love it.
Best.
Don't touch her in the wrong spot.
No, man, conversion bins are the bomb. They're just
Yeah.
the little bed in the back, leather seats, humming
Classic.
while it's going down the
Take
road.
the benches, the 2 benches out in the back,
Yep.
build a 1-bed loft, and pack everything underneath it.
So how many people of those 15 passenger vans with a little bunk in it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's the way to go.
Living at Love's gas stations. Man, I'm ready to go.
Dude,
I'm ready to go now.
living in, we always took the Walmart parking lots. We'd
Classic.
run into like the family bathroom.
Did you
Do
know
like a
they actually
sink
have
shower.
Walmart has a policy written in that like they're down for people in RVs and buses
Yeah.
like to stay in their parking lot.
More than likely, they will go in and spend money.
Right.
If you let them park out there,
I
they
mean,
will
yeah.
probably go in and
I
buy
can't-
something.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
can't tell you how many, like we would have like take a skateboard or a bike, a little BMX bike with us in
Yeah.
our trailer and just ride around Walmart all night, and then
Yeah.
you get bored, go inside, and you're gonna
That's
spend
pretty
some-
cool. Do they actually do they have like an open policy or something for that now?
Yeah,
Really? That's
yeah.
cool.
It's like written in that you can stay there, like just pack up for the night and just hang
Right.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as
That's
you're
cool.
not causing them any trouble, I don't see why it'd be a problem.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah,
Making money.
most of the time, like if you're traveling on the road, no matter what you're doing, and you see a Walmart, you're like, oh, thank God for this
Yeah,
Walmart,
please
because
let's
you're
stop.
probably you've got lighted parking lot.
Right?
There's probably a gas station connected to it. You can go in and buy whatever you need. I mean, it's like an all-in-one pit
Even if
stop.
even if there's not, you can get some food there. You can get your
Yep.
snacks. If you need some toiletries or some new
Right.
underwear, they got everything you need.
Yeah.
So
Walmart.
yeah, they actually have that written in there. Of all the things that Walmart is against, with them being such a giant corporation, they'll take care of you traveling, man.
They
So you
know
can-
the
it's
struggle.
It's free entertainment
You can
for,
say that about
for
it.
its parking lotters. You
Oh,
can go
man.
in and just no
Yeah.
telling what the hell you're gonna see.
Yeah, depending where you're at,
People
that could be
watch.
a,
Yeah.
a whole thing right there.
That's
So where you guys drawing inspiration from when you're writing these jams? Where you guys pulling from?
Drew Glover.
Yeah.
and a
That
lot
dude.
of it here recently. I feel like we've just been like some of our most recent songs that we've got in the works have started from just a jam and a riff, and we've been jumping in, and then yeah, I mean he's a huge part of our writing process.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Everybody brings something to the table.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Some nights are super productive, and some nights are just duds. You know,
Sure.
I mean, we all have jobs, and most of us have kids, and marriages and stuff like that. So some days it's just kind of a dud. Like you go in and
Sit and drink
nothing.
beer and just kind of hang out.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean, we'll strum or we'll jam around for an hour and nothing will happen. But then some nights, man, it's like everything just clicks.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like
It's
finish knocking out one song after another. I mean, not just stuff that we've been kind of trapped on, getting out of our little divots with the song and getting it knocked out. But
yeah,
That's what I really like about it is like none of our songs are remotely close to the other.
yeah.
Like everything is different. Like you got some stuff that's kind of driving a little bit more rocking, and then you've got your Magnolia that is the most heartfelt,
Make you cry.
deep. Drew, he lost his father and wrote the song about Magnolia, where he grew up. And that song, at this point it means everything to all of us. Like, so many people have connected to that already. That's probably going to be one of the first ones that we record when we go to the studio. But then, man, it's kind of crazy when we can get all of our stuff done, and we've got all the I think we've got 9-10 songs.
Mm-hmm.
5 of them are probably done. But once we've got enough to fill an album, nothing's gonna be the same. That's what's cool about it is it's just different
Are you building it like that on purpose?
No, I don't think we don't do anything really just
with intention.
That's thought out. It's kind of just get
serve
in
the
there
song,
and,
like whatever, whether it's based around a drum beat or a bass riff or whatever. It usually just starts somewhere, and then we just try to serve the song as best as possible. And if it kind of fizzles out, then we'll move on. But then again, some songs just kind of write themselves too. So it's,
in that case, what's that process kind of like? You guys get together.
So that's one thing we've kind of been battling with, because like the most productive we've been as far as writing has been going to somebody's house with acoustics,
getting out of our rehearsal space.
Yeah, and like kind of just sitting back, kids running around everywhere, family atmosphere, just kind of hanging. And that's when we wrote our first 2 songs, really. Yeah. And we've been trying to kind of be in the studio writing, coming up with it, everybody full band, me behind the drums, that kind of deal. And I think it's a little bit harder to write that way.
Forced creativity is I don't know if that works. That hasn't really worked for us.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's forced when you're together in a more studio type setting?
When it's like that, like I just, me personally, I feel like we don't really get anywhere with it. Like I think we work better when we have Jackson and Drew and Tyler sitting down and say, okay, let's play this. They get through it and kind of give us a map of the song, kind of lay it out. You know what I mean? And then we can come in, and that's when me and Avery come in. All right, we already know where everything's going. Let's go here. I think when we're all trying to do it together, which, like I said, we got 5-6 dudes in the band. So, you got, it kind of just turns into a lot of mush.
Well, I hear this.
You can't really narrow anything down. Yeah. Like, dude, I'm so pumped about this freaking weekend.
That's a lot of influence.
Yeah.
Dude, we're going to my cabin for the first time.
We're forcing a writing session at a cabin.
Yeah. I'm so freaking jacked. We've rented this place for 6 years now, and I've wanted to play music up there so freaking bad. It's right on the Little Red River. I'm like, dude, this place is screaming for a music getaway. Been trying to get people up there, and this weekend it's finally happened.
That's my area.
I think. Yeah,
that's what our dog's named after.
Yeah, he is.
Well, we're at the south end of the Little Red. We're over east of Cersei.
Okay.
It's literally 15 minutes before it dumps into the White.
Yeah.
And dude,
the dirty.
Yeah, it's
dirty end.
Yeah,
it's nice.
I think that's very nice. It's gonna be cool because
I'm so excited.
A lot of times, we only get together one night a week at this point. You know? So it's like we have to have an objective when we're going into practice, because we don't have a lot of time to waste.
And the bad thing is we're pretty bad at that.
We start with an objective. We're like, okay, dude, we've got a show coming up in 3 weeks. We've got to lock down a set list, start working through these songs, and we'll get about an hour into it, and it's like, okay, let's take a quick smoke break. Let's go grab a beer, whatever. And that's when a couple of stragglers will hang back and start just kind of jamming, and then whoever has gone out will come back in, and there's a verse and a chorus that had just been written. Seriously, man, it's those are the times when I feel like we are the most productive, is whenever we have an objective and we take a break, and then usually there are a couple of guys that hang back and just start playing something and start writing lyrics. Drew and Tyler can bump out lyrics it
blows
nothing,
my mind.
Man.
I'm not. I can sit here and talk to you all day long.
Yeah.
But you tell me, it's kind of like when we were testing the mics earlier, just talk about something, everything just leaves.
Sure.
Sure. I can remember going back to college and sitting there, and we'd be fucked up on the back porch and shit, and trying to flow. It was god awful. I can remember it like it was yesterday. There's no reason that my white ass needs to be trying to do that or kind of make up any kind of lyric, which that's, I attempt it. I send them stuff. And that's what I like about this band, is everybody puts effort into it. You know what I mean? I suck at writing lyric, but they write stuff, and I'm like,
sometimes
I can go with that a little bit, and I throw some stuff out there, and it's use it or don't use it, but that's what I was feeling right then, and that's what's cool.
All it takes is one line or one or two words from someone to make a song progress, because we've got several songs that are kind of hung up on certain spots, and sometimes all it takes is just a line or whatever from somebody just through a text, and it'll progress the song, and you move on, and then the song gets finished. So,
Dude, if any of the lyric that I've ever sent ever made it into a song, I'd be on cloud nine. Like, I'd be so happy.
didn't you send lyrics to one?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it got
you did.
ignored because it was terrible, probably.
Did it?
It's not in any of the songs. But
I remember.
You need
that.
to present it again.
bring it
Yeah.
up this weekend at the Writers Guild.
I forgot about that. Hey,
I tried.
That's one good thing though about having that many people, is that like little brainstorm sessions like that really can make a difference.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's too many, irons in the fire, but
Yeah.
yeah.
in things like that can definitely help out. I could see.
Well, and that's kind of like when it gets to that when the serious writing is going on and it's them in there playing, like that's we just kind of me and Avery sit back and drink. Really, I mean that's
Rhythm,
hard job.
the old rhythm section.
Yeah, the rhythm section back there,
Yeah.
scribing away.
When the fine tuning's being done, we're
Yeah.
fine tuning ourselves.
Let the masters go to work.
Yeah. Hey,
Nah, it's-
the backbone doesn't need to know what the lungs are doing up there.
Surprise us.
You just hold them up. That's all.
Man, we that dogwood throwdown we played. Was that last year? Or was that this year? Last year.
Last year.
I don't even know where
October.
we. Yeah. Anyways, we practiced. I think twice the week before, and was probably the worst practices
It was garbage.
that we've had as a band. I mean, just couldn't pull nothing together.
Sound like dog shit.
And we were all just like getting everything set up. I could tell
Tyler was
like,
freaking the hell out.
Ryan was.
Dude, Tyler, like that was his first time like playing with a band full on.
I get his like
Oh,
not
he
knowing
was-
if the dudes
yeah.
behind you are
Yeah.
gonna
Oh, I mean, he
Sure.
was.
fuck up or-
He was. You
Is
could
this a
tell
wet
it was-
paper towel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
he,
gotcha.
he came out there. I mean, I swear he smiled from the start of that show to the
Yeah.
to the end.
Here's my deal. I don't know. Y'all might be different, but like, I'd rather have a shitty walkthrough. Like that's kind of like even like going back to sports playing that. Like it always seemed like if you had a great walkthrough, you played like shit.
Yeah.
But if you had a shitty walkthrough, it sharpened you a little bit. You're thinking about those little things. Well, okay, I messed up here. This is what I need to get this right. Like so, I would like that's kind of my comfort zone is when I come in the right before. Like I don't want stuff to go perfect because then I guess it gives you a false sense of whatever. Like so, I would rather it be a train wreck and then go out there because then I'm staying up at night thinking about my parts, like running through it, like.
Well, that's why you rehearse,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's the whole point. That's
Yeah.
the idea.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's
Yeah,
kind of my comfort zone, but Tyler was not cool with it.
Understandably.
Yeah, 100%.
Tyler Kinchelo band.
Yeah, especially his
His
name
name.
on the front.
There's
Yeah.
been so many nights where he's like, "So what are we gonna be called?" It's like,
What do you mean?
Yeah, you brought us all here. You want us just to be
I like Kinch and the boys, man.
Kinch and the boys.
Kinch and the boys.
I was reading our website bio with my fiance earlier.
Mhm.
She's like, "So is Kinch and the boys gonna be it?" I was like, "I mean, that's what we
It's
call
kinda hard.
ourselves among each other." So
Yeah.
I feel like maybe it'll just stick.
It's pretty good. It's pretty solid. You can't really go wrong there, right?
Yeah.
Does it really matter?
Does it?
Does the name like? I mean, I know at some point we have to start.
I think it has to be kind of given to you. Like I don't want to just have like some overthought. Like
Mhm.
I don't know. It's like something that has to be earned.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
It's like naming a dog, man.
Yeah.
You can't just like name it on the first freaking day you've got it. You got to like see what its personality is like, and it's got to fit.
I always think it's like a shoe. You ever tried on a shoe and like this ain't my shoe?
Mm-hmm.
But you'll find the one. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When you're like, I need new shoes, you'll find the shoe. And sometimes you put your foot in a bunch of shoes, man, and
Yeah.
they just don't work.
Yeah,
It just doesn't fit.
totally.
And then you'll find the right one. Cinderella moment.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And that's it.
We're still waiting. Maybe. I don't know.
Hey, I'm down with Kinch
I
and
like
the boys.
Kinch and the boys.
It flows.
If not, Kinch is simple enough,
Mm-hmm.
easy to remember. I mean, it's got to be marketable these days.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's the big thing, right?
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
Unfortunately, it can't be.
You got to be able
really
to grab
want it
somebody's
be.
attention within like a half a second.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe a second max. You gotta grab them.
Mhm.
Well, just like we were talking about before, what's his full last name?
Kinchelo.
Yeah, Kinchelo. I can't spell that.
Mm-mm.
How am I gonna look that up on social media?
Well, and if you see it, like a lot of people have trouble. I mean, it's like my last name, Catronio. Like people can see it. To me, it's easy, but I mean, people see that and they just freak out. Like
Yeah.
it's like, no, I ain't even trying.
Try to
I'm
get me
like,
to spell that right
Yeah,
now. No, it ain't gonna work. It
Yeah.
ain't gonna work. Kinch is pretty simple, pretty straightforward. That's a good start.
Mm-hmm.
You throw one of the boys on there. I already know how to spell that.
Yeah.
We're already off to the races. You know,
We're good enough for Arkansas.
that's
We're
band names are
simple enough
hard.
for Arkansas.
I've got a little project that is very like way too early to even talk about being in its birth, and we've been trying to figure out a name for that. So the other day I sat down with a name generator, not to really look for a name, but just to get words to kind of bounce off of. And I spent way too much time on that. Just like, you know? Names are hard, especially
Yeah.
band names.
It's way easier to find bad band names.
Yeah.
Like that's one of our things we used to do in Nashville is get tore up, and we had this little notepad next to our couch, and I mean it was terrible. Some of the worst.
Can you recall any of them? You got
Man,
anything off the trigger?
I wish. I
See, that's the thing. I try to think of
it was bad.
when I'm looking at like words and associations. I try to jot down the ones that stick with me. So I'll go through like a huge list, and then the next day, if I recall any of them, those are the ones that I jot down because those are the ones that should make a difference.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my process. And some of them are terrible.
Yeah.
Some of them are actually. I'm like, that should never be any band's name, but it is catchy. It's sticking with me.
I mean, look at how many terrible band names there are out there as far as just like either vulgar or just what were you thinking?
Yeah.
I mean, Dave Grohl said that if he thought the Foo Fighters would have made it anywhere, he would have found a better name than Foo Fighters.
Sure.
Yeah, but, I mean, at some point it just becomes a brand. I mean, Foo Fighters, I would have never thought Foo Fighters was... They're a badass band, so
Yeah.
it's not that bad of a name.
I mean, I guess that's
But,
true.
I mean, that's how he looks at it, so it's
It's
just going to end up being a name.
it's hard to define what's a good and a bad band name
Right.
because there's some terrible band names that you
Yeah.
wouldn't think are terrible just
Mhm.
because one you associate it with that band, right?
Right.
It makes a huge difference.
Cattle decapitation. It's a good one.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot out there.
I'm blanking on the bad ones right now.
There's plenty.
Yeah.
There's plenty. There's I don't know. I guess it really does all depend on how the band ends up, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, even a terrible band name could be something you enjoy, something somebody enjoys somewhere.
Everybody enjoys something. I mean, at some point.
Really trying to think of a bad band name. Like a
Chlamydia. I don't really want to go see Chlamydia. That's all I got.
But
Off the top of my
what
head.
if they're fucking badass?
I mean, they could
What?
be. They could be.
What if they're opening up? What if you didn't know the opening act for the show and they're fucking killer?
Chlamydia?
I don't know, dude. You never maybe.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If it's a band that I want to see and they're playing with Chlamydia,
Mhm.
maybe I'll be there.
Yeah.
I may just show up late, but I mean, maybe I'll see Chlamydia. But I'm not stoked to see Chlamydia. Maybe they'll surprise me.
Yeah.
Mm.
Chlamydia and the boys.
Yeah, have you guys ever thought about that?
Kinch and chlamydia.
Yeah, Kinch and Chlamydia.
It's catchy.
Ooh,
No,
literally.
You will catch it.
Yeah, that may not end up so well, like at the shows,
Yeah.
or maybe it will. That's the thing. You never know, right?
It just depends on where you are.
Yeah, maybe. Where you guys? You guys got anything on the horizon? You're looking forward to playing? Anything crazy?
I think this Mud Nationals thing.
Yeah,
I'm
we
pretty
got.
stoked.
Yeah, we're playing Mud Nationals March 18th.
High Lifter,
Yeah.
Mud Nationals.
March 18th.
Blevins, Arkansas, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Where's Blevins?
It's,
Out towards Arkadelphia,
yeah.
Okay.
Hope area. What's the name of it? It's at an off-road park.
Yeah, I can't remember the
Hirosa.
Hilarosa.
Hilarosa. Yeah, this is my first year ever hearing about it, honestly.
I've just heard of Mud Nationals because I got buddies that have gone to it. I think it used to be
Yeah.
in Texas or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's there's a ton of people that go to this thing.
What is Mud
thousands
Nationals
of people.
like?
I mean, they
a big
pretty
mud
much just
pit?
go out there. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
go out there and ride side by sides, 4-wheelers. I mean, dude, you got
Like
I mean, you're
25
probably
see some of these
looking at
videos. I mean, you got
25,000 people.
Yeah, and these machines
these
are
side by
probably
sides that are
like,
$30,000-$40,000.
Yeah.
Like,
and they just get junked the
Jesus.
fuck.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of a
Breaking axles
side by
and
side
shit,
with like 30s on it, and it was completely tipped over in a mud puddle, and all you could see is like two of the tires sticking out of the mud.
yeah, like it's pretty crazy. So they're doing like a poker run on Wednesday night, and we are at the end of the poker run. There's
Okay.
a stage set up, and that's where we play.
Are we talking motorcycles on this poker run, or still like?
No, yeah, like it's
ATV
all
and
all
four-wheelers.
ATVs. Yes, yeah, that's all it is. I
I
mean,
might
it's
see some Jeeps, like some all-terrain Jeeps out
Yeah.
there or something.
March 18th through the 22nd.
yeah. So we're on the 18th. We're the first day breaking them in.
Who were?
Could be again one of those that where it's like could be 100 people or 1,000.
Yeah, I mean,
in
I
front
think
of us.
people
We
are
don't-
just
we
thousands
don't
of people
know.
that go to the thing. I'm really kind of blind going into it. Like I said, I've never been. So
From what I've kind of like watched online, I think it's just going to be people filing in and out of there all night. I mean, it's at the end of the run that they're doing, so
Sure.
they have to go through that either way. So
Who you guys playing with?
I think it's just us.
just
really.
us, yeah. There's a few other. I mean, throughout the week.
Well, yeah, throughout the week,
like
we're-
Thompson. Is it Thompson,
Thompson
Square?
Square. And a couple other people like that. I mean, they have the big stage and all of that set up on the weekend. So hopefully we can go down there and do a good job and
Get the
maybe-
thing started.
maybe
Yeah, the
again
first
next
night,
year.
man, these people are ready to party, like they're ready to throw down. They've
Yeah.
been waiting all year for it.
yeah.
I think it'll be. We gotta have to sharpen up on the cover tunes that way, because I mean you got to be able to grab them if you're not a known
Sure.
act. You
Yeah.
get, it is one of those times where even as an original band, you need to have your cover songs sharpened up and ready to go because you want to be able to
You're there setting
grab.
the tone. Of
Yeah,
the
you got to be able to
deal.
grab
I mean,
attention.
It helps with an event like that because it's so broad anyway.
Yeah.
You got so many different people there.
Yeah.
And especially if you're an unknown, like, hey,
Well, I think we're pretty clear headed when it comes to that. Like we want to play our tunes, but we also know what our job is. And like it's to create a good time. So I mean, I understand like the side of having to come in with the covers, and especially something like this, to where I mean you're kicking it off. So I
Yeah.
mean, go out there and have a good time. Like
Well, yeah,
play
but-
stuff that people want to hear. And dude, that's what's cool about it is, I mean, yeah, you're playing covers, but you still get the experience of people singing back to you and all of
Yeah.
that. Like, I mean, that's the coolest thing I've ever.
Another thing too is how many artists nowadays in all genres of music are discovered on YouTube
Yeah.
or online covering a song.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean that's I don't know enough to like really quote it, but I mean it seems like a lot of the artists nowadays are starting with cover songs
Mhm.
online or whatever, and they get discovered, and then they have some solid originals behind them.
hit that.
There you go.
Scroll up a little bit. Hit that info button. Give me some info.
It's not really like I can hit these things.
But yeah, maybe not. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be.
It
pretty
might be
rad,
better
though.
to go to like to their Instagram or something.
Yeah, I looked
They got
it
a
up
lot
the
of
other
stuff
day.
on their
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah, try
Just-
that.
Go to like High Lifter.
I did when I was looking it up the other day. I just hashtag high lifter or Mud Nationals, but I know their website has a bunch of promos for.
So is High Lifter, is that like the sponsor?
Yeah,
of
the
event,
highlight.
or-
Yeah, like most
or the brand or
a
something.
high lifter. You can get like a high lifter edition of almost any 4-wheeler side by side now.
Try that High Lifter Mud Nationals and see what that pulls up.
Yeah, that's a
They,
video. I think
that
I
must be the
watched.
sponsor. Play
Yeah.
that. Jesus. Yeah, it must be these guys putting this event on, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's who
yeah.
it is.
Yeah, high lifters.
Oh
A
wow,
pretty
they
big company.
got a dirt track.
Oh yeah, they have like a full out motocross track that they race side by sides on and stuff.
Are these guys from around here? Scroll back up to their.
I'm pretty sure High Lifter is a
It doesn't really.
Arkansas-based
Hit
company.
that.
I think
800 number.
I think it is.
Well, yeah, let's check on their website. I'm kind of interested now. I've never heard of High Lifter. I'm pretty.
Yeah, from my understanding, you can buy a Polaris or a Honda High Lifter edition, and it's something that
Mm-hmm.
they've sent to them,
Mm-hmm.
and they've
like a package or something?
yeah, they've modified it. However, or you can, you obviously buy the products from them.
Mhm.
But
Shreveport.
Shreveport. Yeah,
Shreveport.
that's so. Yeah, that's close. It's
Hmm.
in the area. Right on.
I wonder if they do Mud Nationals in more than just Arkansas.
I don't think so, because I know it used to be in Texas.
Well, on the that little video we just watched, it had the
the one there in
The Hill
Arkansas.
Roast.
yeah, the Arkansas one. Yeah, it said right there. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty
'cause, I mean,
rad.
I think it's once a year. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's all they do it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a lot of
it's-
people though. I
yeah,
mean,
it's gonna
you
be
have,
cool.
like you said, you got the opportunity to play in front of everyone that's there. If they all, but I'm sure there's going to be some people that won't go on the poker run or will stay and get trashed at their campsite or whatever. But it's the options there, and they know that will be at the end of that run. So hopefully,
How many
people come out
acres
and-
is this thing? Do you know?
I have no idea.
it looks like a
Yeah.
lot because there's some mud holes like out in the middle of that just looks like some swamp that they created this huge, or a power line. They created a huge mud line,
Mhm.
and there'll be 100 people out there on the side, and then just taking turns going through, see if they can make it.
Yeah.
And there's multiple areas like that, so it's got to be huge.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited about
We're
it.
going into it with no 4-wheelers.
And maybe you'll come out with 100 4-wheelers.
Right. No, we're gonna go down for the night and I guess drive back afterwards. See what happens.
Yeah,
I don't know that I could.
seems pretty rad. Seems pretty cool.
I'm excited about it, man. That's like I said, we're a year into this deal, so it's all pretty fresh. I think we've done it pretty right, getting in and writing some tunes. I wish we could have gotten the studio a little bit quicker, but we've got we're going to Haxton Road Studios up in Bentonville, May 2nd and 3rd,
Mhm.
and I think we're gonna record a couple songs just to get something out there,
Just like a little EP. Just
well,
to-
I don't even. I
Maybe
think
not
we might
even
just
that
do.
much.
Yeah, literally 2 songs and just release
Mhm.
the 2 singles.
Okay.
Just
Do
because.
release one,
Yeah.
maybe in the spring, or I guess by then it'd be summer.
Summertime. Yeah.
Maybe one or around Christmas or something,
hmm
or whatever. Hell,
Yeah. That's
whatever.
people are just. I go around town and people are like, dude, when are we gonna get some stuff? Like, we're ready to hear it. Like,
Yeah.
and that's what from Cabot, Lone Oak, Central Arkansas area. we Tyler's got a hell of a following, dude. Like, that's anytime we put up a video. I know it's still small fries, but for somebody like, I can only speak from my experience personally to where you go from, not getting paid shit for shows. You share a video online and you get 15 people, and 10 of them are your aunts and uncles and grandma. Like,
Sure.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's, I mean, to where anytime you put something up, your minimum views is 1,500. You know, I mean, he's got a couple videos that got 15,000 views on it. Like, I mean, so I mean, those are not bad numbers. Like, I mean, the dogwood throwdown stuff that we got. I mean, on Facebook. I mean, there's thousands of people that are viewing these things. So I mean, he's got, I mean, shares. He's got a good following around there, and the people are loyal to him and look out for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Push his stuff. It's just a good foundation to start from. You
Yeah.
know, being a year in, finally trying to get the professional look. We just got the website up, www.kinchmusic.com.
Which does look fantastic, by the way.
So
you guys are-
big shout out to old Nathan Jeffers. He's one of our piano players. Yeah, our sixth member.
person that he,
Six-man award,
he's a
man.
mystery.
6-man award.
You never know if he's really gonna
Yeah,
be
he
up
th-
there or not.
He threw the site together, and me and him kind of put it together and put all the pictures up there. And I wouldn't have been able to do it,
Yep.
like just getting started. But these websites, man, these like we did Wix or whatever, and like it's not as intricate as I thought it was gonna be.
Wix is
You
who
know,
we
man.
use
Plug
for
and
ours
play,
too.
man.
Yeah,
And I mean, internet's been around long enough now.
Yeah.
It's just so much streamlined.
yeah. I mean, it's pretty much click and
Plug and play.
Yeah, I mean,
There's
it's right
so
there.
I like Wix a lot, just for the simplicity. But almost any web designer or
All kind of same deal.
software,
Like,
it's
yeah.
all, they've got it all streamlined now.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
really
I
great.
mean,
great.
I was pretty surprised once he kind of showed me the ins and outs. I was like, dude, I mean, this is not bad. Like,
Really,
I mean,
it's kind of your all-in-one pit stop for everything you have, because everything now is based off, at least for music, everything's based off followers and shares and clicks or whatever.
Mhm.
So it's like you need to have your social media accounts need to be on point.
mhm.
And then just have a good website, a simple website that can get you, the business end of things
Dude,
put together. The rest of it,
EPK tab right there has been golden.
Yeah.
Like I went
Yep.
from, I think Sunday, I think I sat down and booked what? How many shows did we just add? 3 shows on Sunday just by resending that EPK.
What is that? What is the E
Electronic
EPK?
press kit. So it's pretty much the whole
Oh.
website just rolled
Yeah, it's-
into
I
one
gotcha.
that's what it's
page.
all.
But like
I gotcha.
I wish I had it so we could pull it up. You could look how garbage it was. But the first press kit that I made for Tyler was dog shit.
I'm glad
And I
you
sent
asked.
it to people and like didn't even get responses and stuff. And then like what was crazy is it was a year on the hit on the head. I'm sending out to some of these same bars and venues around Arkansas and stuff, and like the very last email I sent to them was that old press kit that they never responded to, and then I send them this and they get back to me within 24 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just like they see that we're working. Like we're in this thing, we're doing it. We're not bullshitting. Like I mean, we're here to do something. We're trying to do it.
A
But,
professional shine, a professional look will make a huge difference.
yeah, huge
And
difference.
it's almost like simple is better though,
Yeah.
too. Like you need to be able to click directly on that page and just go, I mean, you hit your bullet, because people are I feel like so quick to move on.
Yeah.
Well, there's first of all in the music, it's so saturated.
Mhm.
If you spend too much time on one guy, that's just you're losing out on something else
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
It's quick. You hit it, you go,
Mhm.
move
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, streamline it, simplify it, break it
Mhm.
down, make it easy.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Not only in people who would want to book you,
Mhm.
but even just your music consumers, the
Yeah.
guys listening to you.
Yeah.
It just makes it easier.
Only thing we're missing on there is a merch section.
Yeah, that's one thing we got to get
We're
figured out
still-
right now.
Wix does make that
Working on-
easy too when you're ready to bump into that.
Well, we've got. I need to dive in and kind of research that a little bit more. I found like Teespring and a couple other little places to tie into it. But because that's what we just did a merch order, and we filled probably 50 orders, and I was going around and like literally meeting people and being like, exchanging cash and handing them a T-shirt. Like, I mean, just straight up
Dude
like
does everything, man.
hustling in
Dude
the
does
streets,
everything.
man.
Yeah,
and
He's
like,
the band dad.
and I was like, "Fuck that! I'm never doing it again."
That's a
like,
lot.
I
Yeah.
mean, it was too
Yeah.
much. It was too much. Like
That's a
I
lot.
tried it, but and we made some money for the band. Like I mean, that's gonna help us go record and stuff like that. Which I mean, that's cool. But yeah, we got to find a way to streamline that. Like,
I mean,
that's
it's
what-
like with each one of those products you sold is probably 20 messages or 20
yeah,
appointments.
yeah. Like, I mean,
Whatever.
it was dumb, but
There's a lot that goes into that.
had to do it. I mean, people are wanting stuff, so we got to get it to them. You know?
She's the backbone of all of our
Yes.
merch and making shit happen.
yeah.
She's the backbone for a lot
Dude,
of
it's
shit for this.
it's a animal. I mean, man, that stuff. Like, I mean, just marketing and all of that, marketing, merch, freaking. I mean, it's a whole different ball game. Like, and that's what I told them. Like, I love it, but man, it's just when you're trying to play an instrument too and learn songs, write songs, that kind of stuff. I mean, it's a lot, but
Yeah.
it also gets to that point too. Like, when are you? How do you find that person that you trust to run that stuff, like for booking and stuff like that, an actual manager? Like because I mean, it'd be too easy to get over on somebody, you know what I mean? Like, and that's what scares me is like right now we have accountability for everything. Like everything that I do, I send to Tyler. He's in on everything, you know. When we book a show, it's booked for that. I draw up a contract, whatever. But like I've heard horror stories of some people dealing with some booking agents and stuff, you know, and they're booking a show for $1,500, and then you're only getting $750 out of it. You know what I mean? Like, and then they're pocketing the rest of the money, and that's the kind of stuff that scares me. So it's like, when do you relinquish that and let somebody else handle it, or do you just buckle down and do it yourself? And that
It's a
way
lot.
you know. I mean,
It's a lot. That's a
Yeah.
monster.
it's scary.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it really is.
I see. Go ahead.
Mm.
I see more and more big bands these days wanting to get away from the big corporate labels and stuff like that. And I don't know. I feel like it's at some point in your career you have to go with the labels to get to that point. And
I don't
then
know,
you
man.
get to a point.
I think staying indie is
Look at Cody Johnson. I don't know if y'all follow him very much. Like, I mean, that dude.
Casey Donahue.
Yeah,
and-
I
Went to
mean,
school with Cody Johnson, but he's terrible.
No, but
I'm
like, I
just
mean,
kidding.
like
He's
Cody
corporate.
Johnson, that dude. I mean, he had Texas locked in. I mean, he finally signed with somebody, but I mean,
But he could
from
call his
what-
own shots.
Yeah, from what
Pretty much.
from what I have read and stuff like that is he gets in. I'm like, he tours everywhere, but when he goes back to Texas, that's all him because he built it. You know,
Yeah.
they did that themselves, and he was like, I don't need y'all for my
Call your own shots.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
when
mean,
you get
so
to a certain level, you can.
It's a bit of a
Right.
double-edged sword.
Mhm.
So there's so much that a big label like that can offer you.
Oh yeah,
Or
Mhm.
even just management.
Yeah.
Not even a label, just say
Right.
someone to manage you.
yeah.
There's so much more that they can offer you to a point.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time it comes at a cost.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think it's a real double-edged sword there.
Like when is that cost worth it? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's kind of what I'm struggling with right now. Like, yeah, it would be sweet to not deal with it, but then I enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there are some times where I'm like stressed when you got 3 kids, real estate job, you know, band, all of that. Like, there are times where I'm just like, I need to chill.
It could be a full-time
You know,
gig.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I enjoy the shit out of it. Like, I mean, I really do. Like, I like going and sitting in my office when I got some downtime, pulling up the website, making adjustments. Like, I like having my hands and stuff. Like, I can't sit still. Like,
Did you fall into that just from the lack of it being there, or did you take those reins yourself?
So, well, no, I told Tyler from the get-go, I was like, if you're ready to go, let me go. And that's kind of what I did. Like, I've wanted to do this for a minute. Like, I mean, and I come from a sales background. I've sold anything and everything from freaking Dell computer products to insurance to houses. I mean, like, I've kind of done it all since I was 18. So I just kind of feel I'm comfortable going out and talking to people. We have a good product that I think I can sell, you know. So I mean, it's just kind of, I don't know. It's kind of one of those deals. It's not, when you've got something good, it's not hard to sell it. You know what I
Right.
mean? You just put it out there. Your job is to connect people with him, and that's all you got to do. So that's kind of how I look at it. But yeah, I don't know. It just kind of, I like being hands on. I like being in it. But yeah, I don't know. That's just I enjoy it. I mean, I'll be honest with you. If I friggin' was in my yard cutting down trees and shit and cut my hand off or something, I'd probably still try to manage bands. Like, I mean, just if I couldn't drum anymore, I'd still want to do it. Like, I
You
mean,
could make a hook with a grabber.
yeah.
Hey, there's,
But I mean, you know what I mean? Like, that's I mean, I enjoy that
you
part
can
of
still
it.
play drums.
Yeah, just
There's,
tape it.
there's
tape
been
it to my-
drummers that have done.
Def Leppard, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to see Def Leppard and ZZ Top when they come in October, I think.
Why not Def Leppard and Motley Crue? What the hell, man?
Because
Motley Crue coming back.
Huh?
The tickets were bought for me, so
I know.
I'm happily going.
Yeah, no, that would be pretty. I would rather see, honestly, I'd rather see ZZ Top right now than Motley Crue.
Didn't you just go
so-
see Motley Crue when they came last time?
On their final tour, I did. I mean, I would love to see them now too, but ZZ Top would be pretty killer. I'm in more of a ZZ Top kick right now. Motley Crue.
It's
But
my mom bought them for my buddy Sean. Was his birthday, and he's never been to a. I guess our concert was like the most legit
for real,
concert that he had ever been to.
shit,
So-
Poor guy.
Wish I would have known beforehand.
Right.
Jesus.
And so now he's getting to go to ZZ
Well, he's
Top and
knocking
Def
out
Leppard.
too. I mean, he's swinging for the fences, man.
Yeah, that's
badass.
I mean, being especially like growing up listening to him, I'm stoked for him. I'm
It's
go
gonna be
with
cool,
him.
man. ZZ Top is.
I've never seen ZZ Top live or Def Leppard.
Def Leppard's on my list. I'd love to see Def Leppard. What's a dead or alive band that you would want to see if you could, like one that you haven't seen yet?
Man.
I know it's like the
Jesus. That's
question
tough.
of all questions. What would it be?
That's tough. Wow. Right now, I'm on. There's two bands that I've been listening to since I guess the last couple months. Well, I say no, not really. That's not true. What I'm saying is false. There's two bands that have come out with music since the first of the year. That I've been listening to those two albums nonstop.
Mhm.
One is White Mansion, which
Mhm.
are from Fayetteville.
Mhm.
They recently did a show. Those dudes are phenomenal. Some like dark synth waves type stuff that I'm super into right now.
Mhm.
Anyway, their album Human is phenomenal. If you're into that at all, you should check them out because they're fantastic. I've got them on rotation,
Mhm.
and this little band out of Utah called NVM.
Mhm.
They just came out with an album in January called Thermal Memory. It's a little shoegazy, lots of reverb.
Mhm.
Just the other thing I'm into right now. I'm those two guys nonstop is what I've been listening to since those albums came out. So I've seen White Mansion several times. Recently, we went and saw them. They played here in town. So I guess right now, at this very moment, I really want to see NVM just to
Mhm.
see if they live up to that hype.
The album.
But Dead or Alive, man, all time, that would be so
Yeah.
tough. I don't even know that I could pick one at this moment.
Yeah.
Just out of the blue, just gun in my
Right.
face.
Mine would have to be like a show full of all of them.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I want to see Rage back in the day
Yeah.
do their thing. Rage
Yeah.
Against the Machine.
That'd be killer.
I feel like that would be one of
Have you
mine.
seen what their tickets are going for lately?
I
So,
haven't
I saw
even tried to
something
pay
the other
attention
day.
after.
That was outrageous.
Yeah.
Is that just one show though?
Yeah.
Or
From-
is that like
With the original singer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's-
Yeah, they're
he's-
going-
They're on a big reunion. They're doing a big
Oh.
reunion this year.
But like the ticket price was, I can't remember exactly what it was off the top of my head, but I remember it being outrageous.
The
Like,
couple shows that I looked at and that I saw for decent seats, thousands of dollars.
And
Yeah.
people are gonna pay
Thousands.
for it all
Yeah.
day
Oh, yeah.
long.
Oh yeah.
Which
But isn't that why like the whole reason the vocalist didn't want to come back? Because
Or like money.
he wanted. Was it the band wanted to play for free? or did he want to play for free and the band didn't? You know,
I don't know.
I
I
don't
didn't even
keep
know.
up.
I didn't
Yeah.
even know
yeah,
that,
I
they
know,
were
like that's why they started doing like the Prophets of Rage, is because there was a disagreement there between one or the other
yeah.
with money.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I'm not sure, but it definitely. When I saw that, I was like, "Holy shit!" Like these dudes they've strayed a bit.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a bit of stray there. I mean, I
Yeah.
understand there's supply and demand, but
Mhm.
holy shit, man!
Kind of goes. I feel like it kind of goes against their
Right.
core principle of like,
That was my thought
fucking
on the
this
whole
system.
thing.
Like,
That was my thought. They very anti-establishment,
mhm.
as they now just collect.
I don't know.
See, I'm more of a. I want to go to Red Rocks.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah?
that'd be tight.
Like I've just never been there. Like I want to go there. I don't really care who I see. I just want to go see a badass band.
Yeah.
at Red Rocks. Like I don't know why. It's something about that place.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've been
I just
to
want to go.
I've been to Red Rocks. I didn't get a chance to see a show there,
Yeah.
but I've been there, and you definitely can feel the energy,
Yeah.
even without a show.
Mhm.
I think Jimmy Buffett was actually playing there the night that I went, but I had other stuff going on. I couldn't make it out. But I mean, I don't think anything you see there would be a bad show.
Oh yeah.
Just
That's
because
what
of the
one of my best friends just went and saw
Mhm.
John Butler Trio there. I don't know if you ever heard of them, but they're Australia-based band, and I mean, I freaking love them. But he just went up there and he said it was one of the sweetest experiences of his life. Like, I mean, he said it was freaking awesome. But that's I just that'd be sweet.
it's kind of a strange setup. It's very amphitheater like.
Yeah.
So they have a little spot there where you can, hang out there by the stage and jam out and mosh if it's heavy or jump if it's not or
Mhm.
whatever you're going to do. And then it's very amp-like up in the seating.
Yeah.
But you can definitely tell that whoever built that place, they knew what they were doing
Yeah.
sonically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the energy there is pretty great.
Yeah, that band I sent you on the group text the other night, Animals as Leaders,
Mhm.
they played there not too long ago, and I feel like that would have
that
been
would have
probably
been pretty fucking gnarly.
they would have been one of the bands to see there because I
Mhm.
mean it's instrumental. They're playing from one end of
What's their guitar player's name?
Tosin Abasi.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
he's got
He's
his
a beast.
own guitars, like his own brand now. Abasi.
What are you playing, Kiesel?
No, he was playing Ibanez.
Oh.
The model that he plays now is like formed out of a chunk of wood to like
Mhm.
fit his, like what he feels is comfortable
Mm-hmm.
and for playability, and so he took that design that he designed with Ibanez and now is making his own guitars, like 7 and 8 string guitars, and yeah, I bet that was a killer show.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
Just getting to hear that.
I'm sure it was.
I like them instrumental bands. I've been listening a lot to like Animals as Leaders, and I don't know if you've ever heard of Polyphia. They're some killer dudes.
So, what would you guys go see as your end all be all?
End all be all.
Dead or alive, whoever the case it may be, or just what you want to see right now.
Right now, there's a lot of bands. I feel like being in Arkansas, we kind of miss out on that. I mean, you have to travel to go see any of the big tours that
Yeah.
you want to see now.
We're the stopover between Dallas or Tulsa and Memphis.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it ain't nothing to drive to Memphis to go see the show.
I'll be honest with you. Like I'm a huge Foo Fighters fan. And
Yeah.
I've never seen them in concert. Like I would. That's probably right now who
That'd be
I would.
cool.
Yeah, just because I've never seen them.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've got every single one of their albums, but I don't know why. They've been to Little Rock I don't know how many times, and it kind of seems like every time they come,
They've been on the
can't
bill
go.
for.
Like, I can't. I mean, they went to Memphis and we tried to go, and something came up.
They've
Like,
been
I
on
mean,
at Memphis in May several times too. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, and that's what kind of sucks is a lot of the bands that I've actually got to see was like coming through like when they used to do Riverfest and all that stuff. That was my
Mhm.
main way of watching concerts growing up and all of that. Like I mean
Mhm.
like y'all talk about going to Vino's and stuff like that. Like I never was really into that scene just because I was playing sports back then. Like that just wasn't really what I did. You know what I mean? And so I missed a lot of that stuff. So the only time I ever really went to shows was Riverfest, Edgefest, that kind of stuff. You know, kind of the bigger deal. So I never really got the, I guess, I don't know if that'd be considered underground scene or whatever, but so that's kind of, I don't know. Now that they don't do that anymore, I kind of miss out on it, which I'm all 33 years old now and don't really do much of nothing. So, I mean, which we have found a new love of my wife and I and a few buddies and stuff. We'll go, now if shows come in, it's like, if you're going to Little Rock and not staying in a hotel and just getting away from everything for a night, like that, I think me and my wife will now start doing that a few times a year. Like when people start coming in, because we would always try to, go watch a show, then you catch a piano bar afterwards and try to drive home, and it's just like, dude, it's too much. Like you're fucking exhausted. And we played our show at the Red Room, dude, and stayed downtown. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what the fuck have we been doing? Like, this is where it's at. We stayed at the Courtyard. They got a fire pit out there and stuff. I'm like, dude, we get done, go back there and just chill around that. I'm like, man, we've been missing out. So I think we're about to start catching some more
local stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't so bad.
Yeah.
I found, like, living here in Maumelle isn't too bad.
Yeah.
Going back and forth.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I like about Maumelle. It's still out of town.
Yeah.
But town's just, like, right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Literally right there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of my deal, too. I mean, just being able to stay down there, which Jackson, I mean, he lives in Little Rock, so, I mean, it's not near as bad. But, like, for us, like,
it's 40 my
minutes. Wife or I have to be the DD, which I'm not going to be the fucking DD.
Sure.
So, I mean, it's usually her. I mean, and then, like, I feel bad for her because then she's got to deal with my drunk ass when we're downtown,
Where you guys stay at?
We stay at the Courtyard Marriott. It's
like where you live.
Oh, we live in Cabot. So, I mean, you're...
Oh, I mean, still, that's still a good little stretch.
Yeah, I mean, if you've been downtown, all that, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, you're still looking at 35
telling you, man, that wrecker bill, that tow bill, ain't worth it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And we always have a DD. Like, I mean, somebody would be the DD, but it just kind of sucks. Like, I mean, we're all to where now you get to go downtown. You don't have kids. You don't do all that. You don't want to do that.
Like
it makes it easier.
Go ahead and pay the extra $150. Just stay there. You got a night away. Like, I mean, it's... Man,
that's way cheaper than what a DWI cost you.
Yeah.
I can tell
you. That's my deal. I mean, shit, we went back there. I mean, last few times, we even skipped the piano bar, just go sit around the fire pit, sit out there. I mean, because they don't care. Take a bottle of whiskey out there.
Didn't Ernie Biggs or one of those Willie D's shut down here recently?
I think Willie D's is still open. I think Ernie...
Which one? Upstairs?
I think it's Ernie Biggs.
Ernie Biggs across the street from the Red Room. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did the piano bar itself shut down as well, or was it just the upstairs, or was it
like everything?
I'm pretty sure
the
whole building.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know about that.
It's just my deal. Like, why do you need 2 piano bars?
It was like back in December.
Really?
Interesting.
When were we playing?
November was our November 12th or 16th or something was our.
It was still open then because I
remember somebody sent a picture of us down in like the middle of the road down there. I think it was Jackson.
Had a video. We were upstairs, and my dad, who never goes out, like ever goes out. We took him upstairs to, I guess it was Biggs or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting on the back wall, which I was so proud. Like, he had a drink and he was sitting on the back wall and watching everybody and had a smile on his face. I was like, hell yeah. So I went and sat down with him, and I looked out the window, and I've got a video on my phone. I hope I still have it. And Tyler was getting his ass chewed out by his wife. I don't know what he said. And like everybody was outside and like I think trying to just decide like what the next move was. Yeah. And I knew what his next move was, which was not what everybody else was doing. There was something of the sort. It was funny, man.
Man.
Yeah.
The good old times. Good old times,
man. Ernie Biggs has been around but I mean, it seems like anytime I go downtown, that place is never full. I mean, it's just not. I'm surprised they stayed open as long as they did.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I've never been in Biggs or Willie D's.
I usually always go into Willie D's. That's kind of our spot, which we know some of the people that play in there.
Right.
So I kind of like to go support them. But man, that's my deal. Is especially after you get done playing a show, like I just kind of want to go chill, like get away from everything, like
go find a corner somewhere and drink a little bit.
Yeah, and just kind of
wind
down. Yeah, I mean it's
last thing you want to do is go to watch another band.
And I mean usually when you're
something.
done, I mean it's the latest crap, so everybody's freaking hammered. And,
if I had somebody to load my gear up for me, I feel like I would be more prone to partying afterwards.
Yeah, me too.
You need to get smaller gear, man. I'm telling you, downsize. It's the best move you'll ever
I want to
make.
downsize, but at the same time, I
don't.
just love my...
I like being able to plug all my stuff in through your stuff.
Yeah, I know
It does
you
make it
do.
a lot easier. You might still be able to do that if you downsize. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, you get
I mean,
like
if I could still get like a smaller cab, like a
410.
410, or I mean, there's plenty of options. It's just if I'm gonna have to lug my head case around, I feel like I might as well lug the refrigerator cabinet around too.
True.
And most of the time, there's wonderful people like Edub that grabs my cab for me.
Yeah.
I was just thinking earlier whenever
Those
we
are
were
some big-
talking
So
about
we've got a mascot.
Yeah.
could be
It's one-
potential. I was
We-
thinking
we
like
call
if you
it Mr.
ever want to hang
Jenkins.
it up, being like tour manager,
Yeah.
business manager, agent.
Personality.
Whatever.
Band personality. Like this dude.
Ida would
he
be.
does-
He
he's
fits the
6'4",
mold.
Like
Security.
security.
A.
Yeah.
B.
He's
He's-
at every show.
He's
If
the
you don't
hardest.
pay us,
Every practice. Like
Yeah.
any video that you see of us, he's gonna be in it.
He's
Yeah.
the hardest
He's one of
person.
the- he's-
hardest person to hide in the duck woods because he's so dang big.
Yeah. But he we call him Mr. Jenkins. Like we've actually got some songs that are hopefully Mr. Jenkins will make an appearance in them somewhere. But this dude, before our dogwood throwdown, he bought us all sweatshirts that have a Kinch logo on it. Like he's
Awesome. Dude.
he's awesome. Like
Nice.
I mean, it's been my kids call him Uncle E. Like I mean, he's there.
He's a good dude. You could call him right now.
Yeah,
He'd be there for you.
yeah. But he
He'd be like-
he will go on the road with us if we.
He would
if
be
we ever
one
get
of
to
those
do it.
guys that, like we were talking about earlier. You can, if you can avoid the corporate route, and either that or like make your go-to person somebody that's your closest friend. I think he would be that you trust completely outside
Yeah.
of the core guys in the band. You know, you could trust him to be on your business accounts and stuff like that. And know that he's gonna do the right thing and take care of you. He'd be.
Yeah.
I feel like he would be.
Me
So if
what
he
he does.
sees this,
Musically, he has a little bit of a say. I feel like he's always going to tell us that he likes something,
Yeah.
just because he's like, I mean, he's a good friend. He's a good dude. I feel like I could never get an honest, like, if he didn't like something,
I don't know.
he
I
would
think
tell
I
us.
think if it sounded like shit,
he would tell us.
he'd be like, "Dude, that was kind of rough."
Yeah.
But it's just he's that
he's all about it.
like a musician's ear. You're gonna hear everything,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and he doesn't have the musician, so he's a good he's the consumer.
He's the
Like,
he's the
I mean,
person
yeah.
we're selling our product
Yeah,
to.
so like it's like we're like, dude, that sounded like dog shit, and he's like, fuck no, it sounded awesome. Like
Keep working at it.
Yeah.
That's
It's
that's
becoming
Eda.
something.
But it's because it really does sound pretty decent, but to us, that's like, dude, that was garbage.
Right,
Like, I mean,
any-
you know what I mean? But like to
any
the
art's
untrained ear,
Anybody who's making the art is never going to like it.
yeah,
I've learned that the hard way.
mm-hmm.
With making my own music, with making my own art.
Yeah.
Right.
It's always terrible.
yeah.
There's always something else that needs done to it.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it even harder when you're in a band and you got so many people touching these other parts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, as long as your end consumer's happy, man, you're doing the right thing. You're on the right track at least.
Yeah, yeah.
You're going down the right road. That's a hard lesson to learn as an artist in general.
Oh, I'm so ready to hit the road. I hope we can do it. Like that's my biggest goal with this whole project is like, and that's my deal. Like just with the guys in general, just being able to hang out. Like I've never been in a band to where everybody gets along. Like, I mean, we could. I really honestly think if we hit the road, we're gonna have a freaking blast. Just, I mean, with the 5-6 of us, like, if we can do it, and somebody said, "Hey, here's $50,000. I want you to go play." I mean, yeah, we're gone. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, everything's paid for. You're taken care of. Like, go do this little stretch right here. Go take this and run.
Yeah.
And we're about to have a blast.
That's
Because, I mean,
50
like,
shows.
yeah, I mean,
$1,000 a pop.
sign us up. Let's go. Like, I mean, we're gonna all be able to hang out on a bus. You know, nobody's gonna be at each other's throat, anything like that. Like, I mean, it's. I don't know. It's a good group. It feels right. You know
Yeah.
what I
Keep
mean?
talking
Like,
about this bus.
man, we need a bus. Yeah, I'll even take a van. I'll snuggle up.
I've
I ain't
I've
scared.
never done the passenger van or the 15
passenger van.
Yeah.
Just
passenger
like
van.
a
I've
conversion.
never done that. Yeah.
That's
Conversion.
that's the what's a nice way to put this? That's the commando version
Yeah.
of the tour life.
It's almost like you haven't done it until you've done it.
Yeah,
Done a
yeah.
run.
I mean, they're not comfortable. You get a bench with. I mean, depending on how many people you have on the road with you, how it worked with us is we had a bench and all of our stuff. Like, that's your row.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're lucky if you got a bench to yourself.
Yeah, you're lucky. Real
Well, I mean,
lucky.
you got a driver and then a co-pilot up front.
Yeah, if
So
you're
that
lucky.
would-
That's how I was coming back from Nashville one trip. We played like Johnson City, Tennessee, Nashville, and then had a show in Little Rock. Once we got done with it, we were coming back when they were doing all that construction on 40, and I had taken like 2 5-hour energy shots before we left and drank a third one before we played that night. So I was just
Jacked.
crashing. I mean, I was jacked, but I was on like a downhill.
Oh, you're on the downside.
Bad.
Yeah.
And I fell asleep while driving. We had the 15 passenger van and like a 12-foot enclosed trailer, and fell asleep. And it was when they had just barely enough room in the lanes with the barriers, like for miles. And the trailer caught one of those barriers, and it like went up on the barrier and just slammed violently back on the ground.
Yep.
And our guitarist was in the back, and like as soon as that trailer hit, he sat up out of a dead sleep and was like, "Dad!" And nobody said anything. Like, no, I didn't have a co-pilot at the time. He had went to go to bed because he was tired, and probably we made it to like just past Stuttgart, and he was like,
Mm.
"Did I wake up and scream, Dad?" Yeah, you definitely did, man. I was lucky. That was a very lucky trip not to spill that trailer.
Man, yeah,
van
like
all-
it
it could have turned bad real quick. But that's why you have to have, like, no matter how tired everybody is, if somebody's driving, there's got to be somebody in that passenger seat with them, because
Yeah.
if you've got to be there, even if they say they're good. If you see them starting to slip, it's that person's responsibility to take over or
Man,
tell them to pull over.
I'm so terrible with driving. Like, it will put me down so fast.
Right.
I can't tell you how many times, like back in the day when I was working in the Gulf, like driving home from like southern Louisiana
Mm-hmm.
at night, man, get like the Texarkana and just be
Oh, Texarkana is the worst.
Dude,
like dozing off and like just trying to make it, stopping at every gas station just to walk around. I don't smoke, but chain smoking cigarettes just to stay, just
Right.
to be doing something.
Blasting cold air, chewing on sunflower seeds.
There was one time right after I had graduated high school, I bought a little BMW Z3, little early 90s, off my aunt and uncle who owned a body shop and had painted it. It looked real fancy. It was Lamborghini orange, convertible. Man, I thought I was real cool in that thing. Me and a buddy, we were like, we had a friend that lived down in Baton Rouge, so we were gonna go down, hang out in Baton Rouge with him for a while, hit New Orleans, make the big loop there. On the way down, we were driving on the interstate. I drive real fast. I got a real heavy foot. So we're driving down the interstate, set on 90, cruise control, just going to town. Just put on some jams, just going along. He falls asleep, just real quick. So not long after, I'm just driving, just trying to get by. I start to doze off. My eyes get real heavy. Next thing I know, he's grabbing me, and we're just doing shitties in the median. And he has the most panicked look on his face. And I'm like, oh fuck! So I'm slamming on the brakes. It was rough. It was rough.
Yeah.
I
You
thought
seen
we
the
were
movie
gonna
Out
flip it.
Cold with Zach Galifianakis?
It's been a
They put him
while.
in
The
car.
snowboarding movie.
Yes, and they put him in the car, and they start spinning the thing, and then wake him up. And he starts freaking the hell out.
Yeah.
That reminded me of that. Yeah.
That's a lot what it looked like, but with two people in there and us at 90. So yeah, it's pretty similar.
Damn.
Yeah, I've been in those positions. It's one of those you pull over for a second and have to gather yourself before you get
We
going.
had a the bus that we had. It was the golfer Greg Norman. It was a basically like the church vans that you see that have like probably 10 or 12 rows of seats in it,
Mm-hmm.
and you could stand up in it. He had one fitted, or I guess outfitted for like golf tournaments where he would go in. You could go inside and get fitted, and you could actually like swing a golf club probably 3/4 of the way through a full swing in this thing. Anyways, he had it for sale, and the band prior to us bought it and put 6 bunks in it, put 3 on each side, and then 2 in the back, and we bought it from them. And so we had, and at the band, the Hawaii 5 that I was in, and the Revolutionaries, we had this bus. So it had 6 bunks in it. We had 5 band members and then 1, our road guy, pretty much. And but we had our lead guitarist in the band. He drove like a Toyota Camry or Corolla or something. I don't know which one. He had the hardest time. He drove this thing like a Camry. He drove it at like 85 miles an hour, and it's we got a trailer, an 8-foot trailer loaded full of gear, and you've got like at any time 4 guys sleeping back in their bunks, and he would drive this thing and
30
like
foot or more of vehicle.
yeah, I mean it was
Jesus.
it was a Ford F450 with a V10 in it. And
No wonder it made it up to 80.
dude, the thing, it shut off at like 98. It could get up
Golly.
that fast, like going down a hill, and he was one of the only ones that ever shut it off.
Yeah.
That because he would just drive and not pay attention. Like we all wore headphones when we would drive, so we
Yeah.
could listen to our own music and not disturb the guys in the back or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, he like didn't ever take his headphones up there, and he listened to. I don't know if you listened to Them Crooked Vultures, which was Dave Grohl, Josh Homme, and
Yeah. Super
bass player
group.
from Zeppelin, John Paul Jones. And at that time, we were playing, that was in Hawaii 5, the country band, and he was listening to this weird-ass rock and roll, and he would blast the music at night, and he would smoke up there. And so he'd, like, have his cigarette hanging out, and he would just be driving, dude. He'd have his music blasted, and one night he locked it up so hard. Like, we all sat in our, like, coffin bunks with our feet facing, like, going with traffic. We all got slammed all the way up against, and, like, we looked out the window, and he's like, oh, my God. And he's like, he's like, you can see his arms up there. He's going like this. Like when he had his shift, it was like, man, this is going to be 2 hours of, like,
Am I gonna make
we need to sleep, but like, are we gonna survive? But it was like, those were kind of the things that if we went on the road, I would hope we could work something out.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like we're all pretty good, probably a lot better drivers than. I mean, he was a good driver. It was sketchy, some close calls.
There's some people you
But
just can't let drive.
Dude, he was sketchy as hell, man. Like,
It
I don't know.
happens.
You can't drive.
There's
you
always
you need to
that
stay
one.
like 60 to 65, maybe 70 max, and just chill, just relax. But he was like foot to the floor and just like he had his hands like this, and the whole time he was driving, he was just like moving the steering wheel. It was a nerve-wracking thing.
I kind of get the
Bouncing
feeling.
lanes.
I kind of get the feeling that Nathan would be our "should we give him the keys" guy. Like, I don't know if it's because he's not the only or not the. I've never really seen him drive a truck,
Yeah.
so should we trust him to drive?
I think we should, man. If it gives me 2 hours of sleep, then
Yeah, right.
I'll
That's,
risk it.
that's the
I'll
most
risk it.
important
I'm
part
gonna be
right there.
asleep anyways.
So you guys have a handful of songs that you guys have definitely written.
Mhm.
You got something ready.
Yep.
You going into the studio to at least do a couple, hammer
Mhm.
out a few in May.
Yep.
May, yeah. So, when you
Which
think we can expect something like
Yeah,
that?
I don't even know what the turnaround is. We haven't even talked about that.
Where you
on-
recording
on
it?
May 2nd and 3rd.
Where?
Haxton,
At Haxton Road Studios. Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually, I mean, the place is freaking sweet.
Do they-
Like, I mean,
Do they send out for mastering and stuff, or do they do it all in house?
I think they actually do it there. Don't
Yeah,
give me
I
line on that.
believe
Yeah.
they. I don't remember who we were talking to, but they said that they could do it in house.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if that's
Yeah, I
the
think
case,
they do it
it'll
all.
be. I mean, we'll go in, cut a couple songs, top
Which
to
I mean,
bottom.
I think we should be able to cut both the songs in one day. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, because we're gonna go and record live, and then
You've already got everything hammered out. So you're just going in to just put them
for the
down,
most
right?
part, unless we decide to go with one of these newer songs.
Sure.
And that's kind of the deal right now is we don't really know exactly what we want to release first. Because we've got some songs that we've hammered out with, the shows over the past year that we've played that people like and that we've got a ton of views on. But I don't know if it's because they're new or what the deal is, but some of these songs that we've got right now, I'm like, dude, it would be kind of sweet to record some of them, just because I freaking love them.
Yeah.
And I know, they're the same way,
Mhm.
But it's also one of those deals, I mean, it's not us, it's for somebody else, you know what I mean? So, like,
Mhm.
that's kind of our deal, is figuring out which one that's going to give us a return, so we can go back and do it again.
Right.
Because, I mean, we want to get the rest of them recorded too. So, I mean, we need something that's going to sell
You have anything?
so we can go back.
Do you have anything on the horizon as far as maybe a date or roughly pinned out on when you want to try to do an album or when you want to do an EP? Or you just got
We've
this?
been talking about that. I mean, because really, I mean, now if you look at a lot of, I mean, mainly country bands, that's kind of what I follow and stuff like that. That I don't really see a whole lot of albums that, I mean, especially, I mean, yeah, your bigger names, I mean, they're going to obviously release albums, but people that are, up and comings, it seems like a lot of people are releasing singles right now. Like, I mean, it's I don't see just a whole bunch of, I mean, hell, Luke Combs, I mean, that was an EP that he released, and that's one of the top names in freaking country right now. I mean, I
Yeah,
think
it's
that
like
last one that
almost
he just
The
put out was
top
5
half
songs.
or top 8 songs on that record were all singles,
Mhm.
and then he just added on like another 4, 5, or 6 that he didn't release yet.
Yeah.
Made a record out of it.
Like, so, I mean, like, what's the best route to go is kind of what we're trying to figure out. Like, I mean, do we want to take the money and drop, I mean, the money on an album?
I think
hell,
that's
even
another
the money for an EP.
Mhm.
I mean, really, to do 4 or 5 songs, I mean, you're looking at, I mean,
Yeah.
$7 to $10 grand for
Good
friggin-
shit.
for good. Like, I mean, and that's our deal. We'd rather we'd rather release 2 quality songs, recording wise,
Yeah.
product that can go and be put on the radio right now.
Well,
It's not a shit recording.
That's a good
that's,
start.
That's kind of our deal. Is like, let's put out a quality sound
Mm-hmm.
that people can buy, and then we'll work from there. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, because we could go and, I mean, we could record all of the songs that we got for the price of, we could probably do one song at the place that we're going. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we could record a whole album for that somewhere else.
Yeah.
But when you go and listen to those side by side, like, I want that quality.
The high
Like,
polished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's,
I understand.
as
And-
soon as you play that, you're like, oh shit, that sounds good.
Not only that, we're gonna get a producer that's
Mhm.
gonna, he's gonna know what sounds good, what doesn't. He's not gonna be afraid to probably step in and say, hey, maybe that doesn't work there. Let's try something else. So we're also getting
Well,
an
shit,
addition.
we've been playing those. I mean, the songs that we are going to record, we've been
Mhm.
playing it for a year, so
Mhm.
we might be locked into a groove that
Doesn't make sense, or
makes sense to us, but somebody
Mhm.
else comes and listens to it and says, "Hey, why don't you try this?" And it
Do you know who's
Like,
going to be
oh.
doing your production?
Neil, what is his last name? Greenshaw, maybe I think is what it is. He's the owner of Haxton, and he's Greenshaw. And then he's got an engineer that we're going to work with as well, which we've got a couple connections that are up there that, like, Drew has talked about possibly working with us as well. So, I mean, it's kind of new grounds for us. I've always done all my recording in Central Arkansas at Blue Chair Studios with Darren Tribling and
Yeah.
that kind of deal. So
Darren's
we're
rad.
kinda-
Darren's great.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, we love
Yeah.
Darren to death. Darren
Yeah.
actually played at the church with me and Drew and stuff like that. So I mean, I love that dude to death. But it's just kind of I'm excited about this because it's going to be something different. I mean, it's a new area, new studio. I mean, somewhere where none of us have been. So I mean, I just like that. I think that's a breeding ground for good material. I mean, just because it's new. Like, I mean, I just think it gets you excited about it. Like, I mean, I don't know. I just kind of I enjoy it. It's kind of like this weekend of going to write, getting out of your normal
comfort zone,
everyday
getting out
comfort
of your
zone.
groove.
Yeah, changing stuff up a little bit. I think it's healthy. Like, I think you need to do that. Like, you don't need to do the same thing over and over again.
I agree.
You're not going to produce anything new at that point.
I agree.
Mhm.
Routines will kill you.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear it. The only thing I've heard so far is the live stuff from you guys' YouTube, which is solid. It's solid.
Appreciate that.
But I'm ready for some polished stuff.
Yeah.
Ready for something with a little shine to it.
Mm-hmm.
Ready to hear it in its full potential.
I really like the newer stuff. Like, I definitely think we need to record Magnolia. We've had a lot of good response to that song, and people have connected with it, and I just feel like some of our newer stuff is a little more has a little more grit to it than everything else we've done, and we've all kind of connected on that sound with a lot of it, so I feel like that would be a good combo with that get you in the feelers and then the kick you in the balls grit.
Well, tell us.
Hopefully by the end of May. I guess if we're going in the beginning of May to cut the songs, or maybe even sooner than that, middle May.
Yeah,
end of
I don't
May,
really
just
know
depends
what.
on-
I haven't even asked them what the turnaround is on it. To be honest with
It's
you,
2 songs. I
I
mean,
mean, yeah,
they know
I
their
wouldn't
shit,
think
I
it'd
would
be more
assume.
than a couple months. I mean, for sure
less
this
than
summer.
that, dude.
You think
Surely,
so?
surely sooner than that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Especially if they're
Especially-
going to do in-house.
we should be able to
Honestly,
leave there with a rough demo.
Oh yeah,
even if with them, even if they were to outsource their own mastering, even if you were to find your own mastering, you'd probably have a quicker turnaround than you think.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll be looking
Mhm.
for it late spring, sometime maybe early
Early
summer,
summer.
Yeah, yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
I say June, like June at the latest. I
Oh,
would
that'd be
think.
legit.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll get you guys back in here and we'll.
When you get Tyler in here, that's
Yeah.
what I tried to get him tonight, but he coaches his son's baseball team, and they had their draft tonight, so it was kind of daddy duties.
Sure.
Which, that's how I'm gonna be the same way when my boy gets old enough. If he's playing sports, I'm gonna be right there. So that's
important, man.
That's cool, man.
It's
Yeah.
important.
That's kind of our first priority, of
Yeah.
course.
Sure,
Yeah.
as it should be.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what's cool about this band, dude.
Mhm.
Like the wives. It's
Lucky
like, dude, it's
dudes.
a whole freaking family, dude. Like all the wives are supportive. Like that's what's crazy about it is you don't have anybody that's really
Putting a lock in the gear.
yeah. Like I mean, it's
Everybody's
everybody.
helpful in their own ways
Yeah.
and supportive.
Yeah.
Crap. We just with that new place that we might be renting, all them We might need to have like a family night and everybody come through and make shirts and Kinch gear.
Oh yeah.
Y'all
Child
get in
do Sunday
get in there
nights.
and work the presses.
Free child labor.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
But we got about 27 kids between all of us. So
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Well, no,
Not y'all,
there's
but
27
I take
kids
that
between
back.
3 of y'all.
yeah, between me and Drew.
Somebody got excited.
Yeah.
Well, tell people where they can find you online. Tell people your upcoming dates.
So, best way is www.kinchmusic.com. That's our website. You can find everything there. Shows. One of these days we'll have merch. If you want merch, come to a show.
True.
Or hit
See
us
us.
up.
Yeah.
Hit the show's tab.
Yeah, so we got, the shows we got coming up right now, we're working on some more stuff for Central Arkansas. We really want to get outside of Central Arkansas just because, we don't want to beat it down where everybody's seeing the same show over and over. But, yeah, so we got Mud Nationals March 18th. We're actually got our first headlining gig, like true headlining gig at the 5 Point Street Festival in Jacksonville. And then we're going to be headlining Jimmy Doyle's at the end of May. And then JJ's Grill that's on Dixon Street in Fayetteville. So I'm kind of jacked about that one. That one's going to be pretty sweet. It's more of a house band kind of atmosphere at that point. We're going to be playing for 3 hours, so you're not going to really get like the show that
At
we put on.
JJ's?
Yeah. That one's you're gonna get a little mix,
Nice.
so it's gonna be acoustic. We'll take everything up there and do a full thing. So you'll get a little bit of everything, but yeah, that's I'm just excited about playing Dixon Street, getting up to Fayetteville. It's gonna be summertime, but hopefully we can get something.
It'll be
football
nice up there.
season. Yeah, that kind of
June,
deal.
Fayetteville.
I think that's just a good door to go through. Get in with them up there. And then we got that Randy Beaver scholarship tournament that we do. We're those guys. Kind of shout out to Mitch Beaver and Save the Course Foundation. They were one of our sponsors for the Dogwood Throwdown last year, and they pretty much just raise money for kids to get golf scholarships.
Nice.
They give money to kids to be able to actually play golf. They do a lot for the city of Cabot and pushing money towards kids to help them further their education. So that's really cool. And that we kind of do a trade off there. We play for that. We go out there and do they have a golf tournament that day, and then we'll come in. They'll do a dinner, and we'll play for all of them out there. So that's pretty cool. And then right now the only thing after that is the Dogwood Throwdown in Austin, and that's kind of our hometown throwdown. I'm hoping this year we had 450. I think we're going to try to sell around 600 tickets this year. Is I think what our cap is going to be. So we're hoping we can sell it out. Don't know. That's our goal.
Yeah.
I think we could fit another 200 people in there. So
As that starts approaching, we'll get you guys back in here. Try to help promote that. Try to push it. Yeah.
I'll probably start that up here in the next month or two, kind of getting sponsorships and doing all of that kind of jazz. But yeah, man, it's I'm just excited to see some dates up there.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I guess seeing it all in one spot. It's
Yeah.
kind of like, man,
That's quite a bit.
We got some stuff going, man.
one show a month.
Yeah, I'm trying to spread it out a little
cool.
bit, but what I would like to do is get it to where we can hit some border states, get over into Memphis, get Oklahoma,
Texas.
Texas,
Sure.
kind of get out. That way we're still playing, but we're not beating Central Arkansas up. We don't want to do it to where we're overloaded around here, so that way people show up. If you've seen somebody and you can be like, I'm gonna skip this month because I'll see them, here in 3 weeks.
Well,
You know what I mean?
you got guys like me, man, who are out of town a lot.
Yeah, true
We're
that.
gone.
You can look at it
I can't see it
multiple
now,
different
but
ways. Yeah.
if you guys play next month, maybe I'll catch it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And see, that's kind of. I think right now we're on the right track. So
It's a good start.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah, it's
got
starting.
a real good
Mhm.
foundation. The little bit that I've heard so far, the couple tracks,
Mhm.
I'm impressed. You guys are doing good. I think you guys are.
Thanks, man.
I'm impressed.
This
I
is
like
kind
it.
of this is really our if you think about it, kind of our freshman year. Last year
Yeah.
really doesn't count because we
Yeah.
got 2 shows late in the year that
that was it.
we just kind of put together. Well,
Mhm.
one of them we put all of our we did everything on the
We couldn't
dogwood
book anybody,
throwdown.
dude. We could not book anybody. We were trying to book people everywhere, and we're like, dude, fuck it, let's do our own shit.
Yeah.
Like let's do our
Yeah.
own show. Like if nobody's gonna let us do it, people are wanting to see us play. Let's go. Let's just do it ourselves.
Yeah,
And
so I mean,
Sometimes
if,
that's what it takes.
I
if
mean-
you consider this our rookie, kind of our coming out year, man,
Mhm.
it's not solid. I mean,
Really, that honestly, you guys are in the best shape.
Yeah.
Like the way that you guys have started, you were on your getting together. You guys got that year underneath you that you've really been able to grind and write
Mhm.
in those couple shows.
Right.
You got some experience going in. You got plenty going on.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm impressed.
Appreciate that.
And count me in. Those dates that I'm here,
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
yeah, thank you for your support, man.
Yeah.
and
I'm
what you
looking
do for
forward
the
to it.
country and stuff. Appreciate it, man.
I'm really
Yeah,
looking
it's
forward to seeing you guys live. And I definitely hope I'm in town for that November show. That sounds like a real good time.
Oh,
It's
dude,
fun.
a blast.
We'll make sure our
I think
food
there's a
truck's
Razorback
here.
game. I don't know if you're a Razorback fan, watch football or anything, but like that. We'll have screen out there. I mean, we do it. I mean, this year we're gonna have.
That show is
Food
liable
truck, man.
liable to be based off of our our current record at the time.
Yeah.
I really want that hot dog food truck that we
Yeah,
had at
from
the that judges.
That was
Fundraiser
at
or
Greystone. When we
Oh,
did that
Hot
event.
Rods.
Or no, that
Hot
was
Rods.
a-
Hot Rods.
Was it Hot Rods?
Yeah, it was at the retirement party.
Yeah.
Man,
Oh.
I got you one. No, I got you a food truck. All right, yeah.
Those were the best hot dogs.
On the go food truck, man.
On the go.
Yeah, on the go food truck. You need to look him up if you haven't. I mean, he's
On
in
the
Little
Go?
Rock. On the go food truck. Ray, I can't pronounce his last name, but that dude is coming with some legit shit.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, I mean, like you need to look it up. And
Yeah.
if you're in town, and because he comes to Little Rock, he's at Graffiti Graphics a lot in Jacksonville.
Okay.
And dude, let me tell you what,
On the go.
on the go food truck, like it's it's legit
Nice.
as fuck. Yeah, no, check it out.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, Kinch and the boys,
Kinch and
Tyler
the
Kinch, Kinch, whatever they decide on, for sure, check them out. I've been impressed. Check out their YouTubes where they got some jams right now, new stuff coming out, like we talked about. And hit us up on the website, samewithdellas.com. You know where to find us. Still got some stuff on sale, blah, blah, blah. Check it out. Buy it. Get rid of our shit so we can get new shit. Yeah. We'll see you next time.
yeah.
Later.